Hello.
Are we on?
Howdy. Howdy doody.
It's really funny because Nathan's the only one that can actually tell if we're on.
Yeah. Yeah. Sure.
Actually say something.
Huh.
Hello.
All right, guys. So we're gonna be talking about the new set coming out.
Awakening.
Yep.
Yep. That is the opposite of a sleeping, which was not the name of the last set. The last set was named Vengeance. So I don't know what's going on.
I hope you guys don't sleepening during this talk.
You guys should be shot for those jokes. They're fucking terrible.
that was great.
Are we on stream or not?
Yes, we're on stream. I told you this
Yeah.
before.
Righto. So hi. We're going to talk about what's coming out in Awakening because Awakening is coming out pretty soon, just over a month. We're not actually going to be talking about what's coming out in Awakening. We're going to be talking about what we hope is coming out in Awakening, what's going to happen, based on the small tidbits of information that we already know.
That's very contradictory what you just said.
So we're not going off a lot. We're just kind of winging it and hoping
Wishlisting
that
is the term
yeah.
you use here.
That's correct. Wish listing before previews start on Saturday for our listeners south of the equator and Friday for those north.
I for one hope that Awakening is coming out.
That's a pretty good thing to look forward to.
It's a good one. Good one, Dan. So the first thing we were going to talk about was masteries because we are getting 6 shiny new masteries with this set, one in each style. And I think it's a very important thing because, in my opinion, the mastery more than anything defines an archetype for an entire slew of decks. In this first set, Orange was defined by its mastery, and now Orange is kind of still defined by that one mastery because Adapt mastery is subpar. But if you look at Blue, deciding which of the 2 blue masteries that you're running will decide a very good portion of what's going into your deck. Anyone else got any comments?
No, so far what you've said's pretty much on point.
I personally hope that we get a drill-based red mastery.
Oh, that's going to conflict with what Millsy's going to say about it, but sure.
That's fun. Conflict is great. That's what Dragon Ball's all about.
I'm actually kind of hoping that the masteries for this set are, I suppose I'm going to say, worth running over their older counterparts. But there were too many times, I think, Saiyan Rampaging, Black Perceptive, Orange Adept. There's not much reason to run those over the set 1 masteries of those same styles. That's my opinion. Yeah, I could be talking shit, but
I think rampaging.
Right.
Rampaging has its benefits. All depends on how the deck's constructed, and rampaging's way more. It's way better for a budget-conscious player than the empowered Saiyan mastery at the moment.
Insane. Are we sorry?
Yeah, Saiyan rampaging's way better for a budget-conscious player than empowered.
What makes you say that?
Well, you need Unleash to run a proper empowered deck at the moment.
You think so?
Definitely.
Yeah. What makes you say that?
Hey everyone, we were just joined by Chris, I think.
Good afternoon.
Wow.
Hey, Chris. Chris, we're just talking about masteries so far. So what we want from the new masteries and what we think they might be based on their names. Actually, does everyone have the names of the new masteries?
Jacob's just piped up on the chat saying, I've been playing around with a red Ruthless Trunks deck that runs a bunch of drills, and a red mastery that does stuff with drills would be amazing. I would love that. I would agree. Nick and I were actually discussing earlier in the day.
Yeah, I'm going to disagree with you on that one, Dan, because of one of the freestyle cards that I want to exist in the game. I want a freestyle card that basically gives you the effect of Orange Adaptive Mastery, but for one level, and then it goes away. Like pretty much like the drill that already exists in red.
You can still have that. It's fine.
This is true.
But like it's something that Nick and I were discussing earlier in the day. It was a freestyle drill that sits around and basically protects everything like that red one. And has no other effect other than just protecting your drills from leveling. So, but yeah.
Okay, so let's get into the individual styles bit by bit. Where will we start? I would like to start.
We should start with the way the previews.
We
are
could just the way the previews are going to unfold.
Yeah. On Friday, September the 9th, so in the US,
we're getting
Goku,
Blue Resolute Mastery, and Orange Retribution Mastery.
Along with Goku and Vegeta, and the assisted command.
Along with Goku and Vegeta. Which we will talk about when we're talking about MPs. Blue Resolute, first of all. What does that sound like to you?
What does the word resolute mean for a start?
So, you know when you resolve to do something? That means you have become resolute.
Fair enough.
I'm kind of wondering
Nathan
if
and
you
I would
know that, or if you were just clarifying for everybody else.
No, I just wanted I wanted the definition, so more insight into what the movie would do.
Sure.
Nathan and I were talking about it before, like how the names of the masteries really don't mean a lot. Like Black Perceptive doesn't have a whole lot to do with perceiving.
That's fair. Rampaging makes sense though. And so does Ruthless. Ruthless makes sense. Enraged makes sense. I could continue on. Adept makes sense because, for reasons I don't know.
No, but like the general idea is that like the naming convention of the cards doesn't always reflect just what they'll do.
Blue has totally made sense. The first one was protective, and the second one's tag team. They totally define what they do.
That's true. So maybe Blue Resolute will also do that. Who knows? Maybe Resolute will be the drill mastery.
Yeah, I mean, but like you also look at the styles and the color, like the styles in the historical context. You've got Blue being very good at the anger control. I feel like it might be a more controlling.
I kind of hope they bring back the copy mechanic for Blue for the new mastery.
Yeah, that's also a possibility. It's Goku who is tied to it, isn't it?
Yes, it is. So
I kind of feel like talking about these masteries is you're sort of doing it with one hand tied behind your back if you're not talking about the MP stack that gets tied to it.
True. I've seen a few people think that because Goku has traditionally been having to do with planning step cards, so drills then allies, this one will be to do with Dragon Balls, in which case Blue Resolute Mastery could be a Dragon Ball Mastery.
Nah, it's totally going to be Goku resolved getting his son killed against Cell.
Maybe.
Level 4, you blow yourself up to win the game.
Goku's new name card is if you're going up against Cell, yeah, you just win.
Jonathan saying Perceptive kind of does because it's designed to see the top card of the deck to combo with other cards. Yeah, it's that's true too.
Except it then destroys the top card of their deck. So
Yeah, but it also sets up yours like black double team.
Perceptive worked great in a certain part of the meta. Like when Android 20 was huge, Perceptive was a great meta call, especially paired with Black Garlic.
Jacob saying Dragon Ball Mastery seems like it might be hard to balance. This is also something that is probably true. I mean, Namekian, I actually don't think it was the Namekian Mastery per se that was what was making it hard for them to balance. It was more of a case of the card choices they gave Namekian were very strong. Flinch, for example, was incredibly good before the nerf, but it's still very good now. So I don't think it's on the Mastery to be balanced for the Dragon Balls, but in a way, if you get what I'm saying.
Dragon Balls is so inherently strong. Like it'll be really hard to have a mastery based around them.
But yeah, so Blue Mastery, where are we at? What are we thinking?
Well, don't know. Honestly, I don't see it being I don't see it being a block mastery like Protective was, but I could see it being anger control like Protective was.
Mm-hmm.
All the recent cards that raise or lower anger to do effects might have something to tie with that.
It could definitely be something to do with all of those raise your opponent's anger stuff, yeah.
Fair enough.
Because I feel like they've been pushing that for a long time, and it could be something really good. But it might also just be that blue cards are printed like that so that you can either control their anger or raise your own.
Yeah, that's a fair point too. Millsy, do you have any thought?
I think that it is going to kind of revert back to copying kind of defensive kind of stuff.
Wait.
Kinda?
Yeah, kind of. I mean,
Kinda?
they could go in any direction they wanted to with it, really, which is probably the hardest part. Blue's always been, in my opinion, one of the more difficult ones to see is what's going on. Apart from Tag Team Mastery. Tag Team Mastery is pretty straightforward. But I don't know. I just think that it's probably just going to go back to copying and blocking.
Now, you say that Tag Team Mastery is pretty straightforward, but you wouldn't believe the amount of people who forget that last part of it, where you can't crit the one ally.
Yep. That's
why Tug of War's so good right now.
Yep.
If only Tag Team wasn't a trash mastery.
Yeah,
if it did something else. Yeah. It's just so empty. It doesn't do much.
I'm only half joking. It's fine.
It's like the mastery, half the mastery.
All right, we've stopped talking about the predictions now. We're just talking about other things. Next one.
The masteries, yeah.
We're just destroying the cards now.
we're going off of the preview schedule, yeah, not the.
Yeah. So Vegeta and
okay.
Mastery.
Vegeta and Orange Retribution Mastery. Now that sounds fucking awesome. I almost call it terrible. That's not what I wanted. I wanted awesome.
It's like
Retribution
on a mastery.
That would actually be pretty cool. Retribution sounds like exactly what Vegeta was doing at the time as well. So hopefully this Vegeta actually goes with the Orange Mastery as opposed to Set 4's Orange Vegeta where there is no synergy whatsoever.
But like, I mean, I kind of feel that that's not necessarily... That is probably just poor planning on Panini's part rather than poor design.
You think so?
Yeah. There've been a few times where I've sort of had to wonder how much testing and balancing actually gets done. So,
I feel like if it's a planning problem, then it's a case of they didn't plan at all, because Hero Vegeta's powers don't do anything at all with the new Orange Mastery.
Well, I mean, Vegeta's powers don't do anything at all with the wording of most of the cards in the game anyway.
This is very true.
He's pretty great with an Namekian restored.
Yeah, this is sort of true too.
Oi, you could play it in Rainbow.
Oh yeah.
No, but I'd like. I mean,
So-
like, Retribution, Villainous Visage. Villainous Visage just feels like Retribution when you hit for a bunch. That kind of effect on Mastery would be kind of.
It'll be something to do with drills. Like orange is meant to be the drill color. It's in the rulebook as orange is the drill style.
Yeah, but they don't necessarily have to wheelhouse themselves like that.
It could have effects where it disadvantages your opponent if your drills get destroyed.
This is true too. Yeah, that makes a fair amount of sense too.
Tag team mastery for drills.
Tell you what,
So what? At the beginning of your turn, search up a drill, and then if a drill gets banished, you can grenade it at the end of the game. End of the
and
combat.
if you only control one drill, it can't be critted.
Yeah.
No, that wouldn't be entirely awful, because there are plenty of times where I look at the orange drills and I go, you know what? I only really want one of these for the rest of the game.
Really? What kind of deck are you
Yeah.
playing?
All kinds.
Jacob's saying
All
Retribution could be
kinds.
if your opponent destroys your drill, they mill one. I can see that.
Lost you.
I don't think the mill one is overly scary, or if your drill leaves play. Now that'd be kind of interesting. That'd give a few of those orange cards a bit more play. The bouncing drill.
You
one
cut
is
out
amazing.
there. What did
Oh.
Jacob say?
If
Jacob said
you make
Retribution
it,
could be, Retribution could be your opponent. If your opponent destroys one of your drills, they mill one, or if your drill leaves play.
If your drill leaves play, Roshi level 2 suddenly becomes incredible. It goes, I block, middle 1.
There are some great synergies with drills leaving and entering play and milling, so that could actually be a fantastic mastery.
Alright. Yeah, I support that idea, Jacob. Good job. Good stuff.
I for one welcome our new Android 20 orange overlords.
Vomit.
Oh wow, 20's level 4 would be slightly better.
Yeah, mill them for 5. or
You
whatever it
might
is.
actually play it.
I'll just like to pipe in here and say that I also support Android 20's oppression of the format.
I would vote for Android 20 for president. He's Destroyer of Humans platform.
Vote 1 Android 20.
Yeah, he's Destroyer of Humans platform. Warms my heart. And
I don't know why you're making jokes. America is already going to vote for the orange old guy.
Oh, wow.
Zing.
But he doesn't have a mustache.
That's it. I can't trust a man to lead that nation without a mustache. So,
Makes crashing drill playable. It's true. It's true. I do need that promo to be playable. God, I wish they wouldn't give us promos of awful cards.
What do you want? Promo spheres? Go to Wells last year.
I tried to, okay, but my time machine broke on the way there.
Yeah.
I like terrible promos because they're affordable.
Man,
Oh,
promos
dear.
this year compared to last year. Womp, womp.
Again, we're getting off track. So the next one is one that, my God, am I excited for. Hercule MP and Black Conflict Mastery. The Hercule MP more than the Black Conflict Mastery, because I was thinking about this earlier today. What would I add to Black what do I want to add to Black? And I thought, well, Devious is already pretty damn good. Like,
It does pretty much.
you'd
everything
have
you
to
want it
make
do.
something. You'd have to make something particularly special for me to want to play Black in anything other than Devious.
They're
Yeah, it
not-
has to be way different. Like it has to change up the style in a dramatic fashion to make it not necessarily better, but just unique and playable.
It's kind of like
The
when
fact-
they printed Krillin level 2. They were like, this will make you want to go to level 2. And people are just like, it really doesn't.
Except for the unique and playable bit.
Yeah.
The fact that it's called Black Conflict Mastery kind of makes me hope that it's a purely combat-based mastery.
If you have a disagreement with your opponent, they lose the game.
if you have to call a judge, the opponent loses the game.
But yeah, like Black's a weird one because again, as we've discussed, it does everything you want it to do, and then some anyway. Already, so like, how many perceptive decks float around at the moment? Like, you get the occasional Black Kenshin-Han playing, and they'll play in perceptive.
Wheeler?
Yeah, but how much is Wheelo seeing play?
Occasionally.
Whenever
less
Dan
than
dusts off
Kenshin-Han,
his
right?
Wheelo stack.
I like Willow. He works well in some decks.
Yeah, but like, I just don't. Yeah, I don't see it.
It's hard to make a Black Mastery when you have to compare it to the Devious Mastery. Exactly right, Jacob.
I was gonna say earlier, they can't beat the Devious Mastery. Like, they're not gonna be able to keep people away from it. It's always going to see competitive play.
It's kind of like they
Not
released a
if
whole
they
bunch of-
made, not if they made Conflict Mastery more powerful, like Devious but stronger. That is how you would get people to play Conflict Mastery.
Yeah, but then you're just achieving the same problem they have with Devious Mastery. Is in how do they, when they make another Black, like, you're introducing a whole world of power creep there. It's kind of like
I think
when they kept releasing all this ally hate, people were still playing Ginyu because he was still the deck to play.
I think Dan's right. Like, the thing to make it playable would have to be make it so completely different that it just makes an entirely new deck open up.
That's pretty much, I think, the only way they can make a new Black Mastery that people are just going to go, aren't just going to go, I'll play Devious.
I got some inside scoop from Richie about the new Black Mastery.
Oh yeah, this is interesting.
Apparently you can run 6 Black Command. That's the Mastery power.
Making Devious.
Are you sure it was 6? I'm pretty sure it was 30. You can run 30 by command.
30. That's why it's called. They were going to call it the Dashi Mastery.
Jacob's just said making Devious stronger might just ruin the game. I completely agree with you right there, Jacob. That it's a good it's a good mastery, but it shouldn't be play new mastery or die sort of game. I mean, like, yeah, it kind of sort of has with main personalities for a time. But like, yeah, it'll be an interesting one. I'm not sure where I'll go with it, but I do tend to agree with you, Nick. I think it might be a more combat-oriented mastery.
I'm certainly most excited to see this one because,
you just want
like I say,
you just open up your starter box and see Hercule. You wouldn't even care if it was
it's
like
not,
fucking.
It's not even that.
You wouldn't care if
we're talking about the mastery right now.
Yeah,
we're talking about the mastery right now. I am interested to see the mastery because I like to play in black, and I also like to look at other options than just the one I've been playing. So I wouldn't mind looking at it. More. I definitely like Hercule more.
If they paired Hercule with the set 4 Orange Mastery, you'd still be keen for the set 4 Orange Mastery.
Mate, if they paired Hercule with fucking Saiyan Rampaging Mastery, I'd be keen as beans.
I'm kind of hoping that the Mastery has something to do with faking stomach aches to get out of battle.
No, that's going to be on the MP himself.
I think we discussed Jimmy Firecracker too, but we'll get to him in a little bit.
We will get there.
Jimmy Firecracker.
Trunks.
At the moment, we've got Gohan with the Saiyan Dynamic Mastery. Saiyan Dynamic sounds interesting.
This stack has heard so much talk because everyone's been so keen for a new Gohan stack. So combined with like the Mastery, it should hopefully do better than how the other Saiyan Mastery went off. Because it doesn't see play really ever.
I think I'm the only person who's a fan of Rampaging, I swear.
No,
Possibly.
I like Rampaging. I just I think you do better with Empowered.
I assume that the new Saiyan Mastery will have something to do with advancing through your levels faster, like the other two have. Especially seeing as how we're pairing it up with Gohan, who I'm assuming you're going to want to get to the higher levels. As for what else it does, like we're also pretty sure that it will have an attack action on it because you've got that new card
we
from
or just you?
Vengeance. No, we've discussed this. We've got that new card from Vengeance where you attach it and your mastery power attacks deal extra damage or whatever it is.
Yeah, but vengeance. But the rampaging mastery has an attack on it.
This is true.
Like it's weird because you can look at the past to see where they may go, but like vengeance is what 2 sets after evolution. So
Yeah.
they have to support the older mastery. If you start printing stuff now, they sort of spoil, like cat gets out of the bag. But I mean, again, being fair, it's not out of the realm of possibilities. They are like preparing for the future. I just feel like looking at the vengeance card as saying that there's going to be an attack on the new Saiyan mastery, whilst probably not wrong, is a bit of a stretch sometimes.
There were murmurings of legacy support, so I don't know what that means in the context.
Well, I mean, legacy support is going back to like set 1, set 2, set 3, and all that sort of stuff.
I thought they said legacy support in reference to older MPs, which would actually fit in with the what they've said in today's Tuesday Tisbits about you'll also find Ultra Rares, Dragon Balls, Dragon Rares named cards sprinkled throughout the Tuesdays, like if there are named cards for other MPs that aren't appearing in the set.
Well, that's exactly it. That's what the legacy support means. But like,
Yeah.
it also like you could also be legacy support for older archetypes. and
True,
things like that.
true.
But like, yeah, I think to basically say that because of that one card in Vengeance, the next mastery will have a printed attack is. I mean, again, I do think that the Saiyan mastery may have an attack on it. I'm just saying that like that the evidence given may not be entirely.
Fair enough, but like we've still got to try and give something to dynamic mastery to actually say this is what it might be doing.
Dynamic, I maybe it can convert life to stages and stages to life.
I heard it's going to be pretty dynamic.
Oh, I'm gonna mute Dan.
Oh. It'll be Vegeta's power on a mastery, so that when you're playing Hero Vegeta in Saiyan Dynamic, you can change your stages to life and then back again.
Can't
Just
wait
for
to not use it.
But like that dynamic sort of leads me down that path.
Maybe.
Just as a thought process.
Trunks in Red Ascension.
Millsy's pretty keen on this leveling up, aren't you, mate?
I feel like it's going to have some form of major leveling perk, like really big. Even if it takes away the ability to end PPV, I feel like you will be just pounding through levels, like saying rampaging.
It's just saying rampaging, but red.
Was that sorry?
You mean Saiyan empowered?
I was going to say he's just describing Saiyan empowered
Yeah.
master.
Yeah.
They both have the potential for skyrocket through anger. Rampaging gets you anger on hit, does it not? The optional anger.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, the new sets really do need more attached cards because I fucking love Unleashed. It's such a good card.
I adore Unleashed. I want a blue attached card because
advocating the,
blue does not
price.
got one.
Dan's advocating the price increase of Unleashed by at least 100% by the sounds of it.
Hell yeah.
Is that because you've got yours already, or?
It's because I got my set, baby.
Yeah, I've got my set. I don't need any more. So Red Ascension, I can't talk a whole lot about this one because I'm not a red player. I've never been a red player. I don't like red. Think it's stupid. So you guys are gonna have to field this one.
It's pretty brutal. I think red's a fantastic style in both masteries.
I would agree.
I'm not saying it's not good. I'm just saying I don't like it.
No, what he's actually
Fair
saying
enough.
is that we're all stupid if we like playing Red Mastery.
Oh. Shots
I
fired.
don't need to say that. I'm just going
You
to
don't
call you
need to say it,
stupid
that's
in
what you,
time.
that's what you said.
I think Mills is correct in that Ascension obviously has it means leveling. So
Yeah, I would agree. What? So you reckon that'll be its only effect? Is it somehow allows you to skyrocket up the stages, up the levels?
I'm not sure.
Maybe it like just doubles your anger gain.
That could be interesting.
Maybe.
Whenever you raise your anger, increase that amount by 1. That's exactly what you need with Red Static Shot. Gain like more anger while doing.
So you're thinking that red decks are currently lacking on the anger gain?
No. That was sarcasm. Jeez, man, I feel like they're
Surprise when Red
very.
Ascension Mastery is blue protective but red.
No, it's blue. It's red tag team mastery.
Actually, that's something I want to say about the next one, Cell with Namekian Radiant. I've seen people thinking that maybe this cell might have something to do with allies because of the cell juniors, and that with the amount of Namekian ally cards,
Sorry to cut you off there, but Jonathan's just posted a message saying that red might also give you bonuses if you're a higher level.
true.
Yeah, I don't see that being out of the realm of possibility.
That'd actually be a really interesting mastery, like having 4 different effects that you get depending on which MP level you're at.
Yeah, that could potentially be very strong. Or
Tricky.
It's like, or it's just like your attacks gain plus X, like life or stage, where X is your current level.
You gain plus X anger, where X is your current level.
You cannot win through MPPV. Yeah, I think
Killjoy.
I think the ability to gain anger faster and potentially gain some bonuses depending on your level could be kind of cool.
It would be really interesting, especially for the style that apparently has no trouble whatsoever getting through levels.
Except for Warbreaker.
No, Warbreaker doesn't do anything to it anymore. You go Warbreaker and it goes, that's cute. Here's a mule kick or a red antidote. Thank you.
Or even better, they just go, okay, I'm unleashed. And then destroy it to lower you. Unleashed has become a really weird tool. But, yeah.
Unleashed is a great card. Love Unleashed. Fantastic card.
I just read a red mastery from GT. All red attacks gain, if successful, capture a Dragon Ball. Your attacks do +1 life card for every Dragon Ball you control.
Ooh.
It's kind of tasty, but I
don't see that being the red Trunks power.
Probably not, but it's fun to think of it.
Oh god, what if it's a sword thing?
Oh, it totally is actually.
I don't think I could handle another sword thing, really.
I think sword's fine. It just needs a little more help, just like Saiyan did for the whole start of the game.
Like a mastery.
Yeah, like having a mastery that supports sword cards would be fine.
Is there enough sword cards to make it like to force the archetype though?
Well,
Plenty of sword cards.
Are they?
I mean, I'll come back to this later when we're actually talking about the MPs, but I'm a bit disappointed that Trunks' new named card is not a sword card.
Yeah, Trunks is knee bash. Yeah.
Maybe it might be treated as a sword card, like in the text down the bottom.
I hope so. Wait.
Let's move on
What's
to
next?
Cell.
Cell with Namekian Radiant Mastery. So yeah, as I was saying, some people I've seen are pretty sure that he's going to work with allies to go with both the Cell Juniors and the I suppose, push that we see in Namekian to add allies to the deck.
Are we seeing a
Um,
push per se, or do you think that's just
I think Namekian has a fairly high amount of ally support in it,
yeah?
comparatively. Like, the only style that has more ally support is blue, which has a mastery revolving around allies.
Cell Junior isn't going to be an ally this set, though, is he? I thought he was an MP.
He could be an ally as well.
Yeah, have
But
they
that-
released a list of
The
NPs?
the villain allies haven't been revealed.
Allies? Yeah. So I mean, there is a bit of a trend of releasing MP stacks with an ally level. There are a few notable exceptions there.
Mr. Satan is not getting an ally. So I wouldn't mind seeing Namekian Radiant being something to do with allies. I might actually run the current new Gohan level 1 in
pretty cool.
Namekian Radiant.
I really do
Would
like
be
that
cool.
restored Gohan list that's floating around though, so be interesting. Is there any other thoughts as to what Radiant could be or do?
I personally,
Energy baits.
Energy beats? Yeah.
What were you going to say? Chris?
Anytime.
I'd really like to see Namekian mastery that's not based around leveling up. Like both restored and knowledge have are slanted towards leveling with gaining anger or whatnot.
This
I
is-
just
Sorry.
I'd really like to see the fantastic drills in Namekian actually be used.
See,
You can use them.
This is also leading. That thought process also leads to a bit of the speculation about Cell, where people are saying that he starts off good, and then gets a little bit worse each time he levels up, just as a way of like tying it to the Cell games fight.
I mean, that makes sense.
But as I've
He
said
gets
before, Cell will never get worse as he levels up. It'll just be, I use new level 1, and then I use old level 2, 3, and 4.
he gets more crafty as he levels up, even though his power levels would go down, that kind of thing.
Well, that doesn't reflect Cell at all. Cell was most crafty when he was smaller, and then he got less crafty as he got to perfection, because he got to perfection and goes, well, I don't need to be anymore. I'm perfect.
No, but the idea is that
that's what-
because he's getting knocked back out of his perfect form, he has to go back to being crafty again.
I'm going to be interested to. Actually, no, I'll save that for the actual MP discussion. Never mind. So we've got don't work with leveling up or something to do with allies. Do you reckon this could be a more Dragon Ball related thing? I don't think so, just because Cell is the one who is.
Least interested in the Dragon Balls.
Yeah.
But again, we're going back to this idea that the masteries are indelibly tied to a specific MP, which we know is not to be the case. So you can't make a mastery that says you have to play this character to get maximum value out of it. And I mean, they sort of have in the past in a way, but I feel like they're sort of moving more away from that, if you know what I mean.
Mm. I don't know. Could be good. Might not be. Who knows? We'll see.
So we've got 1 vote for allies, we've got 1 vote for energy beats, and 1 vote for I don't really want to level.
It could be something to do with rejuvenation, to be honest.
Possibly. But
What every time you
Well, I
every
mean-
time you pay stages, rejuvenate that many.
Oh. That Namekian attack. Which one is it?
Salvo.
Yeah. Oh.
Let
pay
me
5
just go
stages.
back to Score Z. The Namekian style mastery in Score Z. Imagine getting something like that. So
I can't
when
really
entering
remember what it
combat,
does.
so when you enter combat, you shuffle the top card of your discard pile into your life deck. If that card was Namekian style, draw a card.
Nice.
Yeah, that's kind of cool. That covers the
Suits sell.
So that's all the masteries.
I'm going to pop in there and say I really would like to see that in the new Namekian Mastery.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
Yeah,
Well, that's
I
a
like.
shame. You'll have to wait till the 7th of October, mate.
Yeah,
It's a whole
honestly,
month away.
I don't think that would be too powerful, but once you think about that with leaping kick and cells level 4, you start getting some really some Broly level actions.
Yeah,
Broly ain't that tough.
that's a pretty bold statement there, Nick.
Yeah, I'm only saying this to cover my fear of Broly. Like, Broly's terrifying.
Jonathan's saying the original Namekian one was draw the bottom card of your discard if it was styled raised to full power.
That'd be amazing.
That'd be pretty good.
That would be part of energy beats.
Definitely.
That would
like
be really good.
that ties in with the word radiant. If we're gonna keep tying in the words with the masteries.
It does going to full power. That's an interesting thought.
Good.
Yeah.
Good catch, John. Nothing runs, Jono. I don't know. So
Do we
MPs.
want to take a quick break before we get on to the MPs?
Dan just did, so.
I'm
So
good.
we'll take a quick couple of minute break, just to get all the notes together, and then we'll be right back with the MPs.
Sure.
Thank you for bearing with us, everybody. Just had to take a quick couple of minutes break. But we're back for the MP part of this discussion. Nick, do you want to
Oh
keep
boy,
on?
MPs.
You want to keep on
All right.
taking it away?
Ladies and gentlemen, we're moving on to the MPs. We've sort of already talked about this a little bit in our mastery discussion, but in order of a preview schedule, starting on the September 9th Friday for those north of the equator and September 10th Saturday for those below the equator, we're talking about Goku, who hopefully this time will not be awful.
Oh, come on. When you compare it to Vegeta, Goku has been fucking gold.
Goku and Vegeta both hopefully this time will not be awful.
Much better.
I'm calling it. I'm calling it now. Goku's power is going to be on level 2. Go away from the battle, and the rest of your stack's going to be Gohan.
I'd play that.
Level 2's power is going to be throw Cell a sensu bean.
if Cell's playing anywhere, all Cell players in the room instantly get to rejuvenate their life deck, their discard pile.
In all seriousness, given that Goku has previously been drills then ally based, I feel like this one will be again planning step card based, perhaps not Dragon Ball based. Perhaps it will just say something like grab the card that you can only play during the planning step and use it now or whatever. It would fit in with instant transmission being able to grab setups for a turn, and it just fits in general, I think, with the whole Goku shenanigans.
Maybe it's like if your opponent, at the end of your opponent's planning stack, if you have a drill set up in your hand, you can place it into play to draw a card.
What color mastery is Goku with again?
Blue.
So he's back to blue.
Yeah, I don't think that's a terrible thought process. I'd like to kind of see him get off of the "Hello, I am the planning step dude."
I'd like him to not be a pigeonholed character. It's like, which is what you just basically said, yeah.
I'm actually sort of keen for a very like aggressively slanted punch people in the head Goku.
I mean, it does fit for Goku, doesn't it? He's not a very planning kind of guy.
He could be copy based. If like I was saying, the new mastery could be copy based.
Look, I honestly think that we'll see more copy stuff when Buu Saga comes along, and it'll be something to do with Buu rather than anyone else.
Yep, that's probably true too.
I mean, a lot of Goku's attacks have been copied from other people.
That's true. I feel like though the Kamehameha was kind of introduced by Roshi so that it could be Goku's signature thing. Like, it's not meant to be the idea of Goku copied it. It's Goku's technique that he happened to learn from someone else. And Solar Flare is just too good to pass up. Aside from that, he doesn't really steal anyone else's techniques.
Instant transmission was a stolen technique.
I don't think that counts. Have you seen anyone else use instant transmission outside of the Metacooler movie, which is non-canon?
I'd like to point out that everybody in the entire show can use Kamehameha. Like even Ox King is able to Kamehameha.
I don't think he is.
If we go back to Dragon Ball,
If we go back to Dragon Ball, Ox King could not use the Kamehameha because otherwise he would have put out that massive fire on his house on his own instead of going to get Muten Roshi.
Yeah, but Ox King strikes me as being somewhat lazy.
I'll fight you, Chris. I'll flip into you, mate. We are getting far too off topic. Yeah, Goku probably going to be something planning step based. Wish he wasn't, but I would assume that he's going to be.
It could be blue drill. Could be blue drill based.
I wouldn't complain about that. Blue has some awesome drills.
He's got level 2 powers and the rest is just blank. Blue dominance for the win.
Yep.
But have we seen enough of that combo? Just like blue dominance to level 2, win from there. Have we seen
Well,
enough of that, or do we want to keep seeing it?
Well,
it
I don't know.
depends how lazy Panini is.
Does Unleashed make
Well-
blue dominance non-playable though?
I don't think it
Well,
does.
no, because blue doesn't have any attachable cards, so
No, but like, I don't know. It feels really shitty when you spend half your time looking for a setup to get to level 2, and then somebody's just like, "Oh, I have an event that gets me to level 4," and then you go back to level 1.
Wow, wow.
you know what that means, Chris. Just run Sphere. That's all you need.
That's a horrible.
How sure? I'm pretty sure that because Dragon Rares were plural, that it may be Sphere reprints.
Nah, mate, they're reprinting Heroic Assistance and Villainous Empowerment.
Empowerment. Possibly. Vegeta though.
Wait, what makes you say that?
What?
What
Because
makes you
it'd
say
be a
that?
troll.
Say what?
That'd be pretty trolly. I'd have to applaud them for that, though.
Get everybody
They-
hyped on
they've-
Sphere reprints.
They've stopped printing set 1, and they need to reprint the important cards.
It's just going to be
And they
time.
won't- You reckon?
Well, I mean, I would like it to be some useful over ultra rares, like Spear and Digs and things like that, but, like, let's be real. Didn't they say they weren't planning on reprinting Spear?
I don't remember that ever. Them saying
No
that.
idea. What
I
I
d-
do know.
I have this vague remembrance of them at some point saying that Spear being reprinted wasn't on the list of things to do.
Right, Nick wants to talk about Vegeta now. We should do that.
Yeah, we're moving way off topic.
I would like to talk about Vegeta, but I'm going to get really impassioned about this and then be bitterly disappointed. So I'm not going to say a word about it.
That's the whole point. No, get impassioned. We need passion. I'm looking at this 4th of Friday where they announced all the different things first of all, and it's got a picture of Vegeta doing the final flash. With Vegeta has a wide range of interactions with numerous mastery cards. So I hope that is true.
Your level 1 is going to read, "This MP can use your mastery."
You know what? If they let down Vegeta again, like this set, I'm just not gonna be okay with it. Like, he just had nothing. Like, his last stack was bad. His old stack is, well, old. I wouldn't say it's bad. It's not necessarily terrible.
It's not as good as Broly in any way.
No.
What was the? I think it was on Retro. It was on the Australian page saying that it stays true to Dragon Ball with Vegeta getting shat on all the time.
Oh.
Am I the only person in this entire community that doesn't care if Vegeta's shit?
I like Vegeta. He's my favorite character. And I would prefer to not have
He's
an
definitely
MP
one
stack
of my
that's basically
top
not playable.
characters. Yes.
Bring back Nappa.
Yeah, I agree with Dan. I want to see more Raditz cards.
I definitely said Nappa.
He
No,
definitely said
I'm pretty
Nappa.
sure I heard Raditz,
I
You
also
didn't
heard the
know.
true saying.
as he is the only true Saiyan.
Raditz is good already. Raditz is fine.
Guys, we had a topic, and we're not on it.
Yeah, but fuck the topic.
Yeah.
This is T visiting for time in its purest form. Off the fucking off the rails.
And it's Vegeta, so it's bad.
Ah, shut your hole, Chris. I want Vegeta to be good. I want him to be good. Like I would like to be able to have Vegeta stack in, not that doesn't stay in my folder. That is actually in a deck somewhere.
All right, I'm now on record being recorded as to saying is when they print a stack with Vegeta with a mustache, I'll play him.
Mate, I'll alter you a stack that has a mustache on it.
What if we just, like, customize Vegeta
real
and draw
hair.
a mustache on him? We'd be happy now?
That's what I'm saying. Like, I'll just alter up a
Just
stack
wait
so it
for
has
GT.
mustaches.
Just wait for GT. It'll happen.
No, my hope is they skip GT and just goes to Super.
I don't. I really want to see Super Saiyan 4. It
What
looks
are we-
cool.
What are we hoping from Vegeta's stack outside of that it is good?
That it is
Like,
better
what
than
do you
good.
think? What do you think it needs to be able to do? I've
Uh,
seen support for it being an energy beats version of Broly, which makes sense. Vegeta's throwing out energy all over the place, always.
He throws out a lot of
Seems
shade,
fine.
but doesn't actually succeed in any of it. It's kind of disappointing.
Where is Vegeta at in this point in the series?
DB
At this
Super,
point in
or-
the series,
Oh, he just got
Yeah,
his
no.
ass handed to him by Cell because he thought, "Aha! I'll
Yeah.
let you go perfect."
he's having his second day in the Room of Spirit and Time, which doesn't end up doing anything for him, and then he gets mad because Cell kills Trunks, and he goes ah! And ends up wasting one of Gohan's arms.
You guys are
Well-
forgetting that he did put a decent energy blast towards Cell, which helped go.
He certainly did. He final flashed Cell right in the arm, and Cell would have been dead if not for the fact that Piccolo showed him that he can that he can regenerate.
Wow, good job, Piccolo. Wow.
Like I
Piccolo
love
is
the
secretly
idea that
villain.
Cell didn't know he could regenerate until Piccolo goes, "Oh yeah, watch this." Ugh.
It's like
Piccolo is
It's
secretly
like,
the villain of the
uh,
series.
it's like the TFS all over again, yeah.
King Piccolo's
Pretty
definitely
much.
coming.
Well, isn't King Piccolo mentioned in the rulebook?
Yeah.
Well, there you go.
Oh, going to Dragon Ball.
We need to get a nail ally soon too.
What would he
We'll-
do?
We'll get to that. We'll get
Yeah.
to that when we
Nail
talk about
ally
the
is only
remaining
playable if you're
stuff.
playing Piccolo, and then he just fuses with Piccolo.
Who's next? Ah,
Hey, there's a pool
champ.
table in here.
the
The
champ,
champ.
the martial arts champion of the world. I love him. He's my favorite.
You just know he's
Um,
gonna be shit though. Like, there's so much
I
hype surrounding
hope
him. He's gonna be
not.
shit.
He
Uh,
can't be.
I generally hope he's not going to be shit.
I also too would like him to be good, but like,
You know what? I disagree with you. He can't be shit because all of the low power level MPs have been decent in some way or another.
And I am with Nick on this one. I think that if you're hindered by your power level, you need a good power, and that inherently is going to make it a good MP.
but again, that's
I-
saying that there's good planning on the back end of this.
Well,
And
I
he has a moustache.
yeah, I hope that Panini is actually like they've seemed to hit well with the last two sets, so I have
would agree.
high hopes.
Prepare for them to be dashed against the rocks of disappointment.
Yeah, maybe.
Honestly, the only thing that's working against Hercule in my eyes here is that starter MPs have traditionally been poor.
Not true.
Krillin,
Not fucking true. Krillin, Piccolo.
Okay,
Except for
So
Krillin
you've
and
got-
Piccolo and all the
so
rest
you've
of
got
garbage.
you've got 2 out of 12. I'll give you 2.5 because Piccolo got 2 stacks.
I'm sorry, but
He has
There was a
one
time where
good
Frieza was
on
good.
point.
Frieza was alright for a time.
Frieza's
The
never
orange
been good.
Orange Goku was alright at a time.
I was gonna say
No,
Orange
it's
Goku
pretty
won a
bad.
regional.
Okay, see how you're
In
saying
America.
see how you're saying all right and not good? That's some telling terminology.
Yeah, okay, but I'm also updating it for now, like all the stuff we have now. At the time, Frieza was good. At the time, Orange Goku was good. Then you have Krillin and
Frieza's
Piccolo who
never
was
been good.
supremely good.
Hey Dan,
has
I
Frieza
think we're
been
gonna have to
good?
get down. Right around the time I top 8 at a regional with it.
Yeah, but that was back in set 2, wasn't it?
Set 1, set 2, and set 3. But like saying that like all the starter MPs have been shit up barring 2 is kind of a lie.
Even Krillin needed a promo level 1.
He didn't need a promo level 1. You worked
Yeah, I was
fine with
gonna
you
say-
worked fine with the old one.
Krillin's very, very happy to level up. Like
And hell, if you want to, you can just Dragon Ball 2 yourself.
The promo made him the force he was in set 3.
At any rate, Mr. Satan MP, I would like him to have some sort of power that turns all of his energy attacks into physicals to reflect the fact that he can't use energy attacks.
So the opposite of Hero Vegeta.
And I really want him to be a tricky playstyle, like so that I can feel clever when I play him, because I need that in my life.
I'm sure there's a joke to be made there.
Android 16, yeah. He's
No.
tricky.
My original thoughts when I first heard that Hercule was going to be an MP was that he'd probably have something where he can use villain and hero allies. I kind of realized that that would be ridiculously strong.
Yeah, that's pretty busted.
In the score game, he could use hero and villain cards like Android 16, so he might have that ability.
What is the relevance of him being a hero and a villain at the same time? Like I'm going to have to admit my ignorance here because I didn't actually see any of
Which
the
one, Satan or 16?
Satan. Like is what made him like
It's
what,
not that he's a hero and a villain at the same time. It's more the fact that he's the guy who goes and befriends Boo and then pretty much turns the cosmic force of evil into not a cosmic force of evil.
fair enough.
He's not a hero and he's not a villain.
It's true.
He's in that grey area in between.
He doesn't really become a hero until the end of the Boo saga.
And this is why they should have released him with a stylus mastery.
What are you
Please
talking about? He
no.
has all the style. He has all of the style, Millsy.
Yeah. Yep. So much style.
Hercule's power is he can use 2 masteries.
Oh, what? No. Hercule's power is just gonna be your opponent $5, you win the game.
And then the $5 blows up in his face.
No, but seriously, I think there's no debate that Hercule's never leaving 8, correct?
Oh, obviously. He'll have
Maybe
even
gets
worse
to be.
time than
Maybe gets to be.
No, he'll have a worse time than Roshi does.
I was going to say, but I think Roshi could beat Hercule in a fight.
Hercule could reach 1,000.
That's what I'm saying. I could see him getting to be at like level 4, 10 above, but then like that's his only level. Like at max level at level 4, he's in B.
Hercule's canonical power level is 10, so
Canon, whatever.
I don't see him being above A ever. He's weak. He's weak. That's it.
I would like to see him also being a planning step sort of character. It would be fitting to his plans, to stay as the champ.
Yeah. I mean, I don't really care what he is. I'll see him in 2 weeks' time and I'll go, alright, now I have to figure out how to play that play style and I will be set for the entire T of Dragon Ball Z.
I
No
am
matter
prepared.
what.
I am prepared to be like, I told you all he'd be shit. I really hope he's not, but I sincerely think that he may miss the mark this time around.
Whatever
Mr.
happens-
Mark!
Whatever happens, he won't be as shit as Vegeta, and that was a good pun.
That moment when he goes in F bracket on A.
Whoa.
That's his thing. He lies about his power level.
Oh, wow.
Your opponent treats all attacks against you as if you were in bracket F.
Oh, that is so disgusting, but great at the same time.
Because he is the first one on our list with named cards, I'm assuming that we'll be getting Hercule's Dynamite Kick and some other thing.
Hercule's stomach cramps.
They could bring back Z power levels.
Mm,
Do I need to explain that? Z means AT is considered 2 at all times.
Was it
I
two?
mean, yeah, I'd take it. It's better than Roshi ever gets. Also, since we're here, let's talk about Jimmy Firecracker.
I'm telling you, man.
Who
I'm
is-
telling you. If your opponent reports a win, you report them as cheating, and they get disqualified.
Who is Jimmy Firecracker?
Jimmy
He's
Firecracker
the
is
announcer
the,
during the Cell games.
he's not even an announcer. He's the
The
he's
TV
press.
reporter. Yeah, he's the TV reporter during the
TV
Cell games.
reporter.
Annoying as fuck guy.
Yeah. He like almost 100% certain he will be a
If
Hercule-centric
MP is
ally.
Hercule, yeah, no cost sort of thing.
Yeah.
If your MP is Hercule, he starts in play and then has some effect. You there?
I don't know. I'm excited for the deck. I'm keen. Anyone else got anything more to say about the champ before we talk about Gohan?
I feel like we've covered it all.
Sweet.
There's only so much we can say without like having any information on him whatsoever.
True. So Gohan's gonna be hyped as hell and turn out to be terrible. That's my prediction.
Yeah,
Level
I
4
think it may be true.
Gohan. Level 4 Gohan. Energy attacks do not work against you. Like Trunks. the
if your
champion.
if your last attack is assisted Kamehameha, you instantly win the game.
Oh, what? No. um, I feel like Gohan's probably gonna have like a weak level for like his level 3 might just be his weakest level.
He starts out Super Saiyan and ends Super Saiyan. I don't know.
Like, let's look at it this way: what is Gohan missing at the moment?
Good levels.
And
Good named cards.
Masenko's all right.
yeah, I was gonna say Masenko is pretty hardcore.
A reason
He's
to get
got
off of level
the-
2.
Well, I mean, that you can make that argument about a lot of MPs, really. But yeah, his new level 1 was all right. It's good, very playable. His level 2 really works well when you get off that level 1. But yeah, after that, it sort of doesn't really do much, does it?
No.
His level 3 is terrible, and his level 4 is okay if you can infinite anchor.
Yeah, it's a big if. Because getting like the hard thing about the current Gohan stack is getting to level 4 and still having MPPV as a win condition. But if you can pull that off, yeah, but you lose the MPPV win condition.
No, see, Gohan will have a power where all negative floating effects are turned off for you.
I think, like, honestly, if the preview stack was anything to go by, if they put draw a card after you take damage, like that has the very, very large potential to be broken. Especially if you've got like a Broly player that's just like, oh, I'm gonna hit you 5 times for 10 stages each, and then you're just like, oh, I'm gonna draw another 5 physical attacks and punch you just as hard. It becomes pretty silly and makes it seem like it would be a pretty relentless attack, like flavor wise.
I
I'm not
kind of
sure
like
if
it from a mechanics standpoint too. Like you're burning through your life in order to throw out more attacks. I kind of like that.
Yeah.
Then you end up with Gohan v Gohan matchups where it's like, punch, you draw a card, punch, I draw a card, punch, you draw a card, and it's over in the first turn.
And one of them is playing
So-
Namekian, and they just go, "I'm going to read you the whole lot."
Yeah. So what did
They'll both be
the
playing Namekian.
what did
So
that
let's-
read about drawing a card? It say whenever you take life card.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
each
what Chris is saying.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was gonna say I thought it was whenever you take damage. Just say
No, yeah, Gohan's an interesting one. I'm not a big fan of the Gohan character, but I think if the hard part with Gohan currently is getting off of level 1, sorry, not level 1, but going up from 2 to 3, and then finally hitting 4, especially with the old Gohan stack.
hopefully being able to mix and match might actually be a good advantage for him.
Yeah, but like, how much are you mixing and matching? Like, this is the same argument I had with Cell. Is like, if the rumor or the speculation is that Cell starts strong and then gets worse as he goes up in levels, all you're going to see is he's good level 1 from the new stack, and then you're going to see the best 3 cards, which are going to be his old level 2, level 3, and level 4. So you're not really mixing and matching. You're just going, well, fuck this mechanical inbuilt weakness. I'm just going to play what is effectively the strongest.
Then Panini drops the new rule where you can't mix and match anymore.
Yeah, right.
I think
Well,
that'd be
that-
a very bad idea.
Yeah,
That
I,
would
I-
be
It'd be on
absolutely
par with
terrible.
it would be on par with introducing a rotation.
That would be
they-
absolutely terrible with the next MP on the list.
if they release the rotation, then like yeah, just wouldn't be a thing.
No, they'd be forced to reprint it if they want it in the game still.
Yeah, that's also true.
But yeah, so Gohan, I think his levels realistically need a way to get through. You know, he needs a way to get to 4 a little more reliably and still have MPBV as a win condition, I think.
That's only if you want to use the old level 4, though.
No, but I mean in general anyway. Like, his old level 4 is really good if you can get there. But I would like to see Gohan being able to anger out. It would, like, anger is what triggers him to be able to beat Cell. It gives him
Wouldn't
the power.
surprise me. Wouldn't surprise me if he was orientated towards an allies-based Saiyan deck.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that.
I feel like the Ox King ally is going to be working with Gohan and Goku.
You just think the Sun family in general.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do we want to have any speculation on Gohan's backlash?
I
It'd
bet
be
you what
Gohan's
happens when he
kick
breaks
for
his
score.
arm.
No, Gohan's backlash is just going to be a villainous visage type effect.
That's what I was thinking, to be honest. Kind of
Oh,
like,
you said that about everything, Chris.
I imagine it'd be kind of like Cooler's rebirth in effect.
Yeah.
Like play like in timing at the very least.
Yeah. And it'll be a physical combat card, so it can't be sphered.
Yeah. Well, I guess we'll move on to Trunks.
So Trunks, the MP that would be horrible for if Panini said, no, you can't mix and match, given that he has 4 level 1s and 3 stacks otherwise.
There's a lot of love for Trunks.
A lot of
'Cause Trunks
unfounded
is
love.
a cool guy. I would like Trunks to continue being a sword-based MP. Mostly because I really like my tag Trunks that goes into every combat with 7 cards.
I don't know. I'm not feeling Trunks in general. It's like I don't know where you take him, and
To level 4.
Out the
and then
back
you
behind the
win.
shed and you shoot him.
yeah, like I think he's losing relevance as the character.
I think Trunks works well in a bunch of different things, so I think you guys are being a bit harsh.
I like
I
his new level 3.
I think we'll see something similar to what we've already seen with both his old stack and his new level 3, where it's to do with, like, the idea is to recapture the idea of time travel. where the new level 3 recurs cards that have already been used. The old level 1 and 2 I'll look at the future and rearrange it.
Yeah, I tend to think that they'll probably stick with that bent. Yeah, it's hard to say where I'd like to see him go because I just not a fan of the MP stack in general.
If your opponent is Goku, you win the Epic Foreshadowing medal and go on to Dragon Ball Super.
So again, let's look at what he has and what he's lacking. So we've got the ability to foresee the future, as it were.
He also has the ability to generate loads of actions if you play him in a certain deck.
Yep. There's a decent amount of synergy with Sword, the Sword archetype.
Yep.
Do we want to see more of that, or do we think he needs something else?
I mean, I'm happy to see more of the same because the same is currently not super fleshed out. Like, it could use more. It's not like other archetypes where you have everything you need right now. It's missing a lot of options. It's like each style has 1 or 2 sword cards, and then there are there's one freestyle sword card, a freestyle sword drill, and Trunks' named sword card.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't have a whole lot to say about. I don't have a whole lot to say about Trunks because I don't really like the MP stack. So, meh.
It'd
I
make a lot
actually
of sense to me if, sorry, Millsy, it'd make a lot of sense to me if Red was based around drills and swords.
Yeah. I mean, his new the new sword card in red is a drill, and then the other one is red sword stab, which Connor is a humongous fan of.
Red Sword Stab's actually a good card, though. So
I was gonna say, yeah, Red Sword Stab's an amazing card.
I'm not gonna disagree with you.
What were you going to say, Millsy?
About Trunks' name cards. I feel like Trunks Sword Slam, I think it is. Your Sword Slash, sorry.
Sword slash.
Yeah, you banish 5 cards from your opponent's discard pile.
6.
Yeah.
6. Now
And your
that,
next energy hit, if it hits, your next energy attack's free or something like that.
that card is absolutely amazing.
Unstoppable, not free.
Yeah,
That's it.
yeah.
I
I
would-
just love it so much. Discard pile hate is a really big thing in the game.
It's funny to see how that's become a big thing again.
Yeah. Also,
You don't have to run Dev Blow if you're running Trunks, which is great.
no.
Dev Blow's still a good
Casual
card.
Yeah.
anger. I mean, kind of
Something
helpful, but
that I think he needs is something where he can gain stages, given that most sword cards cost him stages, and that one of them increases the usability of energies, which also cost stages. And it's kind of silly for a Fizzbeats guy to be stage screwed.
but that being said, when he's on level 4, all of his attacks still plus 5 stages. And I mean, if you let him get to level 4, just gonna pound you until you die.
That's not entirely true, because he's level 4, like you say, he gives them all plus 5 stages, but he doesn't get any actions outside of that, so he's stuck with the cards in his hand. It's not like Broly, where you go, alright, I get plus 3 stages on everything, and I can do all kinds of extra shenanigans.
Well, I mean, that's a maybe, because, I mean, it just depends on what color you're playing it on, because you can still use the sword drill to search up your sword while having brief. So you're entering with 4, 5, 6 cards.
I guess.
Then your
I'd
opponent,
rather be
then your
stuck on
opponent
level
like
3
powers
then.
up or blinding energies out.
Or it just uses time.
Oh, yeah, well, that's
Time
gonna happen.
good.
Like, it's
Yeah.
not an uncommon occurrence.
I'd much rather be on his level 3 than his level 4. And
His level 3 is
recur
brilliant.
all the things.
His level 3 is quite good.
You can
Hey,
just
I
dig
can
every
use the
combat.
Wizard for time every combat. Wow.
Trunks' knee bash. Any thoughts?
It's not a sword card! Damn it!
It's gonna be Trunks bashing someone's face with his knee. There you go.
What if
I
he
was-
has sword on his knees?
Oh, he's
Knee swords.
I don't know. I mean, it might be something like Trunks' Slam, which is actually a pretty decent card.
Yeah, I think it's just going to be another dumb physical attack.
Another one of those named cards that you can just go, not going to worry about it.
Well, no, not necessarily. When I say dumb, I mean just like blind punch someone in the head, sort of. It could well be good. It could be a +8 attack or something.
Geez, that'd be
yeah,
scary.
okay. Trunks' knee bash. Shield cards cannot be used as combat.
Yeah.
80 plus 8, you have Tree of Might in play, 80 plus 10 already. Yeah, immediate effective, your opponent can't use any defensive cards. Yeah, totally good.
Sounds
Well,
fair.
I currently have a Saiyan dashing kick in my hand from I think it's the Margin Saga from Score. Fizz attack doing +8 and raise your anger 1. There's your knee bash.
Yeah. I don't see
Like,
it being
yeah,
that, but yeah.
you know what I'm saying though. I just see it sort of being a physical attack that's like bang.
Yeah, no, I get it. I 100% understand what you're saying. Yeah.
Right, Dan's gone, everybody.
Yep. Yes.
How many MPs have we got left to talk about?
Cell Junior,
3.
and Tau.
Ooh, Tau.
Yeah, I'm thinking Reese wishes he was on the stream because he has a major hard on for Mercenary Tau.
Dude, Mercenary Tau's the best. Love him.
I'm quite a fan of the weaker MPs. It's just something I like about the.
They basically all have facial hair.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think
That's
a
not true.
coincidence.
One of them's a Brain, one of them's Garlic Junior, one of them's Yamcha, and then you have Roshi.
Well, I think Garlic Jr. has facial hair inside, like in his spirit.
Garlic Jr. is pretty good MP.
All right, on to Cell. I think we've spoken a bit about him, so we make this one brief. The speculation is that Cell's level 1 will be the strongest level, and that he will drop off on power as he goes up. But again, that'll never be the case if this is true, because you'll just play the new level 1, and then you'll play the perfection levels 2, 3, and 4.
Yeah, I don't see that being accurate. I am actually wondering if if he's going to be a full stack of his perfect form, or if it's going to be revisiting the level 1 imperfect, level 2 semi-perfect, level 3, level 4 are perfect form.
No, I can see the first being true, but only for the last level. Like,
Yeah.
Android 16 does it, where he gets weaker on his last level because of an injury. And yeah, I like if he is going to drop in power, I think it's only going to be on the last level.
And it'll be something massive to compensate.
Yeah, I just like. Thing is though, like as all like gamers do, especially in competitive games, we power game. So his new stack's going to have to be something special for me not to just go, all right, his level 1's really good, I'll play the new level 1, and then I'll just go back to like his old level 2 because that's fantastic. His level 3 is a great attack, and his level 4 is just absolutely, godly. So
His
Maybe
new level 4. His new level 4 is going to say, this card is the old Cell level 4, except you can use it as many times as you damn well please.
I mean, if it
And
said
we'll
that,
never
then I'll play
nerf
it. If it said that, then I'd play it. But like, let's be honest, Cell's current level 4, it generates an extra card. It can lower them once per game, and then you go down to your like arguably one of your better levels, and then you just go straight back up to level 4, where you just generate an extra card each combat, and you know exactly what that card is. I'm sorry, but you're gonna have to do something real special and make it real interesting for me to not want to play that card.
I feel
was
like
gonna
he's
say,
level 3.
sorry, Broly level 2 in score does that, and he's still seeing play, however many years on,
Mhm.
as one of the top MPs, and that's just his power. Essentially still level 4.
Yeah,
Except it's limited to Saiyan, so
and again,
arguably
like they've got the new Krillin level 2, which was supposed to incentivize people to level up to level 2, but it didn't really do that. So like, I think the perfection cell stack, we're still going to see like probably 3/4 of that being in any cell stack.
yeah. It's just like Piccolo
I feel
level
like
2.
he's
Yeah,
It's like you're never gonna beat it without making something ridiculous. And then if you do, you're gonna have people complaining about power creep.
yeah, which people are going to complain about anyway. Cell's provocation. What do we think that is?
I don't know, but I know that I want it to be. I want the image to be semi-perfect Cell taunting Vegeta to provoke him into letting him go perfect.
I think we're
Only
past that. I
because-
think we're past that point though, in like the show to the game sort of point.
Perhaps, but then we would have one Cell named card for each of his forms.
Yeah, I could see it
It's-
being
it's-
the artwork of Cell
It
crushing
matters to
16's
me.
head.
That's probably what it will be.
What do we think it does? I've got this weird feeling that it's going to like set your opponent to like max stages, but for some like massive bonus to you.
You win the game.
Yeah, well. Because that's at the point in the show. That's what he's trying to do. He's trying to get Gohan to, let go and come at him, as it were.
Set your
Fear
opponent's
Gohan, lower his anger to 0.
set your opponent to level 4, and their stages to maximum. You don't. All of your saltiness disappears. You are eternally happy.
Would it be too much to say that it would be his level 4's de-leveling power on a card?
Oh, that'd be strong.
Because
It would have to be an event, so it could be sphered.
yeah, obviously it'd be an event,
Yeah.
but like that's provoking. Pretty much saying that I don't even need to be at full power to beat you. I don't know if that fits with the flavor of this show at that point, but could be good.
Yeah, I see what you're saying, but like, part of me still thinks it's like set your opponent to max power, for some reasonable benefit to that effect.
Maybe it's
You know
like
what?
it's like raise your opponent's anger 2, and if they leveled off this, then like something happens to them, like they level back down and have 0 anger, or they destroy the top 3 cards, or something like that.
What I honestly think his level 3 will be, the new level 3, will be his explosion attack, where he tried to blow up Earth and didn't, and then he will go up to level 4 afterwards, pretty much reflecting how he reformed with his super perfect form.
Yeah,
How would you feel about
provocation.
provocation, forcing your opponent into combat?
Yeah,
with a instant transmission esque timing.
You mean like
So-
16 already has?
Yeah, like
Yeah.
16's tranquility.
Except it's not a setup, so you don't know it's coming.
I mean, what there would have to be. Okay, let's assume that you're playing Namekian, right? And you have this in hand. What's the upshot for you to force them into combat when they can just go pass? And then like, if you got a handful of
Your
blocks, what do
level
you do?
4 Your level 4 searches out any cards, so you search something that you can do an attack with, and
Sure,
like-
but that's one attack. You're not really achieving much. I mean, like, I like the
That-
idea, I really do, but there has to be an upshot for for you to want to do it.
That-
If you know what I mean.
That's arguing that you are playing Namekian though. Like,
Yeah, but
Your
let's be
opponent-
honest. Let's be honest. Cell, Cell is a Namekian MP. In my personal opinion, I think you'll have the most success with Cell in Namekian. That's
Could be force your opponent into combat. They can't pass for the next 3 actions.
you can't do that though, because if they've got no actions, how can they not pass?
Shh. I realized this as soon as I said it. Now I feel dumb.
But like, I do like
Um,
the idea of forcing him into combat. I just don't. I can't see what the upswing on your side of things is.
There does have to be some sort of benefit to forcing them into combat. Yes.
But like that's on you though, as the deck builder, to create that benefit.
Yeah, but again, most styles are only going to hold 1 card in your opponent's turn. So if you're holding provocation, what benefit is there for you? Like, you don't know what's coming up next 9 times out of 10. They already know the contents of their hand. There doesn't seem like enough of an upside to forcing someone to combat when you're going in basically blind.
Your opponent enters combat. I mean, yeah, okay. So you make your opponent enter combat, you draw a card, and then you trigger cells 4 to search up a card, and then you draw 3. So I mean, like,
But
you play the event, and
you're
then it
saying
says draw a
provocation.
card.
You're saying provocation could, in this case, provocation would force him into combat and draw a card just for being used, and then you would sell 4.
Yeah.
And then
And then
draw
you
your
draw
3.
3.
Yeah, see, I don't mind the drawing part there, but again, it doesn't seem like enough of a benefit to get them into combat. I personally think provocation is probably going to be a card that's used while you're already in combat. Maybe it'll stop combat enders.
I don't know. The way
Ostensibly
that I see it
taunting.
is that if my opponent plays set up, and then goes like their discard step with 2 cards, and I can make them enter combat while I'm holding, and then like while I draw my card, then use sell and then draw 3. I've entered combat with 5 cards to their 2.
Yeah, this is true. I completely agree with that. I've just got this thought that provocations. I still think it's going to be something that's used in combat. I think there could be something there that it basically stops combat enders. You're basically taunting them to stay in combat. Or like, it could set them to max for a benefit. But I do like the idea of forcing them into combat, I must say. Don't talk. Don't all talk at once.
Cool beans. Spent a lot of time on Cell's provocation.
I just want to say for the next MP, I called this. I called this stack. Cell Junior.
You did call this stack, and I was completely adamant that it wasn't going to happen because it still does. It seems like the stupidest idea. It's not even a character, for God's sake.
Cell Junior main power
It's
on
a
all
plot
levels.
device.
On level 1, you may have as many Cell Juniors ally in your deck as you want.
Cell
And
Junior
it's like-
is a plot device. He's not an MP.
I am disappointed that Cell Junior's got a stack, but King Kai doesn't have a stack.
King Kai
Yeah.
is also more of a plot device than anything else.
Yeah, no, but these are characters.
But
that
King
have
Kai
more-
actually has a bit of character behind him, whereas Cell Junior does not have character behind it.
Like I understand the need for more Namekian playable characters.
Well, we don't actually know that he's Namekian. He's not in the rulebook as Namekian at the moment. The set 7 rulebooks might change that.
I'd bet
But
my
right now,
I
he's
would
not a
bet my
Namekian.
left fucking testicle that he is fine as a Namekian personality.
Probably he is. Like, I'm not gonna pretend that he probably is not gonna be, but we don't know for sure. And
Is
since Christmas,
he not
so
just Cell?
what?
Is he not just a clone of Cell?
He ostensibly is, yeah. He's like Mini-Me.
He's blue.
He's blue.
He's shiny.
He's blue. He's
He's a shiny.
yeah, right.
But like, I've got this thought in my mind. It's like Cell Junior MP level 1 says you can have as many Cell Junior allies in your deck as you want, and it's like plus X stages per Cell Junior that you have in play or something like that.
Whenever Cell Junior gets destroyed on top of your left deck, your opponent destroys top card of their left deck.
If your opponent's
whenever
playing
Cell-
Yamcha, he gets killed.
Whenever-
Cyberman, you dummy.
Unless your
Whenever
opponent
Cell
plays
Junior
Yamcha's
gets-
Expert Assistance.
Whenever Cell Junior gets destroyed from the top of your life deck, put him into play.
That'd be kind of cool. But like, let's be honest. Like Cell Junior, there's lots of them. I almost think that it's too much. It's almost too predictable to not have it. If you know what I mean.
Yeah. What'd be nice though is you can run as many Cell Junior allies as you want, and your attacks do +1,
That's what I
plus
said.
1 for each. Yeah. Oh,
That's what I
really?
said,
You
yeah.
already said that.
But like, what you do then, if you really want to be crafty, you make the Cell Junior ally as a rare. So you'll sell an arseload of packs because people want the foil allies.
Oh yeah.
Panini, talk to me.
want
I've got your
my-
marketing. I can help you out with making money.
I want my 15 foil allies.
And his named cards, search your deck for Cell Junior allies, place a bit of play or some shit like that. Or you can discard them as shields.
Oh, what? No. No. That's disgusting.
For his named cards, like an event, like you play, like use when entering combat. You may discard a Cell Junior once per attack to either block or prevent the damage.
And if it's a foily Cell Junior, then you get to perform a copy of that attack for your next action.
Please.
Think about it. It makes perfect sense. Not the rare part or the foil part, but everything else.
Yeah.
Do
you have any thoughts on it, Nick?
Aside from the fact that I don't like the idea of Cell Junior being an MP, not really. Nothing new to add to the conversation. I
What
agree
could
he's
you
probably
see?
going to be do something to do with swarming and having multiple of the same ally in deck. I would actually be interested to see if there are different kinds of Cell Junior MP. Not MP, it's different kinds of Cell Junior ally.
That could be interesting too.
Like, you know how Magic has the, what are they, slivers or whatever they are?
Yeah.
Where each one
Brings a
basically,
different effect to the table. So.
yeah, and they all become an assimilated massive wall of the same guy.
The problem here is then you're also like, where do you draw the line at how many different Cell Juniors you're going to make 4? Is it going to be
3.
4 different types or 3
3.
different types?
3.
Yeah.
3.
That's still taking up 3 slots in your card pool, like just purely from a
YOLO.
design perspective.
YOLO. I'd live. I'd survive.
Would you play a Cell Junior deck, Chris?
I think Chris has bounced.
Chris is
Ah,
on
yes,
mute currently.
Oh, yeah. Well, okay, then I'll throw that one to you, Nick. Would you play a Cell Junior deck?
Given how well I'm doing with the I won't play Broly deck right now, no, I don't think I will end up playing Cell Junior unless he was spectacularly unless he looks spectacularly fun.
Yeah, I can understand that. What about you, Millsy?
Oh, if it's anything like running like 12 Cell Junior allies, then I'd definitely do it just because I think it would be fun.
Geordie would come out of retirement.
Oh god, Geordie would just be like, did someone say ally deck? I'm in.
No,
He'd add 12.
He'd be playing. He'd just
Ginyu?
be playing Ginyu with Cell Junior in it.
Yeah, fair enough.
You know this to be true.
Oh, yeah, okay, so it'll be Ginyu with like, oh no, it'd only be able to have one Cell Junior. Damn, son. Huh, that'd suck.
Not if they're all
Bad deck.
named different things.
Oh, yeah, no, that's true. So you'd run Ginyu, like 3 Cell Juniors, and it would escalate from there.
Well, I think that's all we can speculate on Cell Junior. Which brings us to Mercenary Tau.
Okay, so I actually am excited for Mercenary Tau. I believe that Tau deserves his MP stack as opposed to Cell Junior because he actually, is a character. He's the first villain to actually beat Goku.
Yeah, in Dragon Ball, and he's also just filler.
He's
in
only filler
DBZ.
in Z, yeah. Like that's my detraction for why he should not be where he is.
Wait, so hang on a
But
minute. Hang on a minute. You don't like Cell Jr. because he doesn't, as an MP stack, because he doesn't have any character, yet you hate Ox King as an ally when he arguably has more character than, Cell Jr.
I don't hate Ox King as an ally. I hate the idea that Panini said fan requested and long awaited allies, and then said here's Ox King, Poir, Barber, and Jimmy Firecracker.
Yeah, fair enough. But
Like,
Mercenary Tau.
Yeah, I'm actually all for an Ox King ally.
And
Mercenary
my reaction was
Tau,
like,
what are we
who the
thinking?
fuck is...
Jimmy Firecracker, yeah. I didn't
think
actually know he had a
Mercenary
name.
Tau,
Yeah, same. He's just like that guy that talked a lot.
I think Tau can be really exciting. I'm actually really interested to see Tau. He's strong, he's powerful, but in a tricky way, which is what I like to see. I really
was
hope
it
that
was
his
it Tau
name
who
cards-
challenged Goku to like a foot race, or was that the ninja?
That was the ninja.
That was the ninja. Yeah.
So you're
I,
expecting like another Roshi kind of like thing?
No, he won't
No,
be
Tau
quite
was
like
Tau was
Roshi.
the assassin. He was like the master assassin the Red Ribbon Army used. So
No, I mean like the like Tao, like for like the tricky play, thinking like maybe like another Roshi kind of powers.
Not so much a Roshi kind of play style, but
he's struggling to find
Definitely
words,
this-
which is rare for Nick.
definitely the same level of thought and control that Roshi brings to it. I hope that his tongue strike is one of his named cards where he kills Commander Blue with just his tongue. I also would really like his oh no, one of his name cards will probably be the Dodon Ray.
Yeah. I'd also like to see a name card where it's him riding on the pylon.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say for my first one, but then I realized no, it's probably gonna be the Dodon Ray.
Another force your opponent into combat, or like just leave combat. I'm out of here, boys.
Whee! No, named attack. The death of Poir's father, not Poir. What's the little Indian kid?
Oh
Uber.
yeah, yeah. Yes, yeah. The downside to that card is that you allow them to build a casino.
If you kill Uber with this attack, you lose. But if you kill his dad, it's all G fam.
Dude, I had a thought the other day that with the introduction of characters like Tao, are we going to? Do you think we'll start to see perhaps a Dragon Ball set? Almost like going back.
I hope we do. I've actually always since I started playing this game, I've always hoped that we do see a Dragon Ball set. I just thought that things like Tao and other Dragon Ball characters would be, later after they've gone through Z.
Yep. Because Mercenary
But-
Tao was just filler, correct?
No, Tao.
No.
He was just filler in Z. Yeah.
That's what I was saying. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, he was only filler in Z, which is why I was surprised to actually see him there. But he's an actual proper antagonist for a while in Dragon Ball.
Yeah, it was a good little
And
story arc.
I'd love to see Dragon Ball sets because story-wise, Dragon Ball is the best part of the Dragon Ball saga,
Yep.
I think.
So yeah, I don't know what else what you can say about Tao. I'm sure if Reese was on,
well,
he'd
you
have
can
a lot to
analyze-
say.
Yeah,
You
he'd
can
have a
analyze
field day.
his levels because we can assume that he's going to get to his cyborg Tao body and start in his normal body.
Yep.
We can speculate as to. I think he'll be another character who is always in A.
You think? I think he would have a fair chance of
actually,
getting
he
to
might-
B, maybe even touching C at one point.
I don't know. See, it comes down to me whether you or not you think that he is stronger than Roshi, and I don't.
Oh, I
Except
think he
maybe
is.
with the cyborg body.
That's what I'm saying.
just
Like
trying
he
to think,
he
when did
effectively
we
becomes one of
see-
the quote unquote androids.
When did we see Cyborg Tao? I don't remember if that was. Okay, no, that was after Tenshin Han had become a good guy. So yeah, it was after Roshi had given up on fighting. Okay, sure.
Yeah, I think he would be. I gotta think he may touch C.
Maybe. I wouldn't see him being above B. I mean, Garlic and Wheelo don't make it above B, and they are, I think, stronger.
Hmm.
I feel like they need to start giving them power levels though, because I mean, in a meta where Broly is strong, like physical decks are just strong right now. I feel like power levels are needed on.
Yeah, but Millsy, you're trying to base that on the current meta we have instead of the meta that we will have once the set drops.
People are still gonna run Broly for like a few months into the meta though.
People will still run Broly even if Broly ends up being shit. Let's be fair.
Yeah.
Like Broly is. Again, Nick and I had this discussion. I think we voiced it on our first stream that Cell got a nerf purely because Broly was coming out, and that Cell
Yeah.
stopped Broly from doing what Broly wanted to do. I honestly think that that's probably on the money. So, like, yeah, people are still going to play older MPs. They're still going to play Broly. Broly's going to be that go-to. I'm going to beat you in your face until you're dead, because that's what Broly does. And in on
because
certain
there are
metagames, it's a good choice.
There are certain players who, you know, don't want to go beyond that level of play. Are quite happy to sit there with a bunch of attacks in hand, just go, I'll play this one, and I'll play this one.
But that's not to say it's not effective. Like, you've only got to look at tournament
not
results.
at all. Sorry, that
It's a
probably
play
comes
style
across
system.
very That probably comes across very condescending. It's not meant to be.
No, I understood. It's just a personal playstyle preference.
Well, I mean,
Like it's gonna change a lot
yeah.
still.
Fahad played an interesting Red 13 at the Sydney Regionals, and we discussed it with him afterwards. He built his 13 deck because he's not an the way he did, because he's not an aggressive player. He likes to sit back and be more controlling. So, like,
Yeah.
there is certainly leeway in all builds. But yeah, Broly
Fahad
is going
sounds
to be.
like a man that I can get behind.
There's a lot of men you get
Vote
behind.
on Fahad. Oh,
Oh.
It's true.
oh,
At least I'm
Guardian.
getting behind them instead of the other way around.
But yeah, like Broly's still going to float around regardless of, you know, whatever else is going on, because he is arguably one of the better Fizzbeats MPs, and you know, people have been playing Fizzbeats even when Fizzbeats is not really that strong in the meta.
And he's a popular character for whatever reason.
Yeah, that sort of baffles me a little bit too, to be honest. If you're watching, or at least watch this stream later on, and you like Broly, just leave a comment as to why. Because I like, as a character, not like an MP stack, because I still can't. There's not enough character
Okay,
there
no,
for me to
that-
enjoy.
That sounds incredibly condescending. Like, you're fine to like Broly, I just judge you. And that's more condescending, but I don't care.
Yeah, I'm trying to. I'm curious. Like, I don't see the character of Broly. You know what I mean? But so we've discussed how. What do we got left? We've got the allies. So the
Dragon
aforementioned.
Balls.
You want to do them before we do the allies, or do you want to do them after?
We don't actually know all the allies yet. We only know the 4 hero ones. There are 3 non-heroes to be revealed.
Yeah, but we can talk about the hero ones and do the villain ones later. Or do you want to do the Dragon Balls now?
Let's
We'll
do
do
the
allies,
allies.
yeah.
It's only 4 of those.
All right, so I'm going to start with Poir,
Okay.
because I think Poir is probably going to be an interesting one. I believe personally that Poir will copy an ally in play.
I believe that Poir will be something to do with Yamcha, given that Yamcha's a popular deck choice right now. It'll probably be something to assist in the energy attacks that Yamcha wants to do.
Yep, that's probably true too. I've just got this idea that if your if your MP is Yamcha, then you can copy an ally for nothing, or there's some cost. Because like, why is that little shapeshifter?
I mean, I
feel
like that idea. It's a cool idea.
I feel like Poir will affect everyone on the Orange Gathering card. So like, there's Tien, Yamcha, Chaozu, and Yajirobe. I feel like those will be where his main seems to suit that group, in my opinion. So if your MP is like any of those, then you should be able to use his power regardless of your power stages.
Yeah, but like, okay, like if he's not copying someone, like, what do we think he's gonna do?
Sit around doing nothing, as Poir tends to do in Z.
Cook.
But yeah, like I think Poir is going to copy the effect of an ally in play, and I would like that. I think that's kind of a neat little ability.
Be a very interesting ally, yes. Oh, ooh. I hope then that it is locked into Yamcha, because I don't want current level 1 Gohan rather, to get any copies of anything that he runs in his very good toolbox.
Yeah, I can understand that, but like, yeah,
that is a very effective toolbox.
it is.
Granted, most of its effectiveness is from continuous effects, which I suppose if that other ally leaves the board, then Poir can't copy it.
Yeah, or your opponent's playing that black obstructing drill or whatever it is, obstruction drill, or isolation. Like, funnily enough, like I was thinking about this last night. I think isolation is on the up and up now that allies are starting to see more play again.
Yeah.
Yeah, I still think it was very niche when they first printed it, but I sit there looking at the card going, shutting off allies and you can't redirect. Ooh, that seems tasty. But
isolation's a setup, isn't it?
Yeah, that's correct. Use when entering play, entering combat.
Maybe.
But so Poir, again, probably never ever going to leave A.
Are we actually gonna talk about ally power levels right now?
Oh, we can do.
No. Let's not go into that. Let's leave that.
What's the power?
Behind.
What's the power rating on Beerus, Matty?
Okay, so Beerus's power levels are CC, D, 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 E, E, F, F.
And what's his power rating?
2.
How many times, like, when I first picked him up and I put him into play, I was like, power up, wait a minute, 2? Okay, don't mind if I do.
Dude, I love Beerus, such a good ally.
You just have a hard on for Beerus anyway.
I also have a hard on for Beerus, but his ally is fantastic.
You're just a furry. So Ox King. Oh, Baba? Yeah, we'll go Baba.
Ox King.
Baba?
Baba?
Yep. It's going to be an elephant with a crown.
Baba. That's Baba, you fool. Learn to pronounce.
Roshi ally?
Fortune teller. I don't think it's going to be a Roshi ally. Like, they don't get along very well.
Yeah, but like when push comes to shove, they seem to get on all right.
I don't see it. It's interesting. Fortune teller Baba, I feel like, should have something like we were talking about with Trunks, a fortune telling kind of power.
Yeah, but Baba also had a cost.
That's true. But still, I feel like that's the best kind of power or something to reflect the way that she brings people back for a day.
Your allies, like, you can put a banished ally from into play until the end of turn. Banish at the end.
Oh, actually, you know how you want where there's life, there's hope?
Yeah, I do.
Calling it now. Baba's effect.
I feel like Baba's going to have a power specifically to Goku.
But like, she doesn't get directly tied to Goku outside of Dragon Ball until the Boo saga.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, Boo saga.
And even then, she brings Vegeta back.
Oh, she brings she brings fucking Goku back first, and then brings them both back, or brings
I
Vegeta back.
don't think she's going to be tied to anyone. I think she's just going to be a
Mercenary
general
Baba.
hero ally that no one actually asked for, but Panini says that we did.
You never know. Some people might have.
I don't think they did, though.
If you ask for Baba and want to prove Nick wrong, just leave a comment.
Or if you just want to pretend to prove Nick wrong, really you didn't ask for Barbara in the first place, you're just a jerk, leave a comment anyway.
That works just as equally well. Yeah.
I mean, it's the kind of thing I would do.
yeah, it is. So yeah, I mean, it's interesting. I can sort of get behind the bringing someone back. That seems like it'd be a cool effect.
Not much else we can really say about it from here, I think.
No. Ox King.
Okay, Ox King I do think will be someone who works with Goku and Gohan, and potentially Goten, and possibly even Chi-Chi if we get an MP for Chi-Chi, but I really hope not.
I was gonna say, isn't there something that basically says Chi-Chi's going to be an MP at some point? A reference
No,
to
this
an
one's-
MP?
There is.
What is it?
I actually just can't
think-
remember.
Yeah,
I think
I
you're
can't remember off the top
thinking
of my head
of
either.
Bulma. I
No,
think
no.
you're thinking of Bulma because Briefs says Bulma on him.
No. Sure, there's something about Chi-Chi.
Keep talking. I'm gonna look it up.
Okay. So Ox King, I think, will be something to do with Goku and Gohan. Whereas the other cards that work with either of them are Blocks or Icarus, I feel like Ox King will be straight up attacking.
Yep, I can understand that.
And it'll be a physical attack. Don't know what else really to say there. It'll just probably be a decent physical attack with maybe a draw a card effect to represent how he provides for the family.
Yeah. Oh man, I'm trying to find this bloody card that says references Chi-Chi.
Don't have a lot to say about this. Like, pretty much, like, you just covered like everything. Really, I mean, I think it's going to be MP specific power as well. I mean, that's about it.
Yeah, cool. Awesome.
Can't use him if your house is currently surrounded by fire.
I mean, would you really want to be using any Dragon Ball cards when your house is currently surrounded by fire?
Bitch, I know what
I
my
feel like
collection's
I'd
worth. I would save my collection.
Yeah, that's not using your collection, though. You get me?
No, I get you. Oh man, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna bring up Octagon. I was thinking I need a card database search, but I can just do that on Octagon.
Sure. What have we got? We said Poir, we said Ox King, and we said Baba. Next is Jimmy Firecracker!
If your opponent reports the win, you get to report them as cheating and disqualified.
I don't know that'll be it though. Like Jimmy Firecracker for a long time actually recognized that Satan was a fraud, but then no one turned up to tell anyone otherwise. So he's like, I guess I might as well believe it then.
Yeah, I don't know what to say about him actually.
Like, it will be like Salsa, I think. It'll be it'll be something that works really well with the MP powers of Satan, rather than something that's just generally beneficial.
I'm currently trying to
Anyone
find out
else?
the Matty, you talk. I'm currently trying to find says the card.
Oh,
that
okay,
references
then
Chi-Chi.
yeah, I was looking for it, so I'll stop that. What are we talking about now? Sorry.
We're talking about how you don't pay attention, mate.
Yeah, that's fair.
No, we were talking about Jimmy Firecracker and how he's probably going to be someone that works with Satan.
Oh, for sure. I feel like maybe he might be an omniblock for Satan.
That would probably be actually really good.
Yeah, I could
I
get
feel
behind
like
that.
I feel like Satan might need some blocks.
And like he's always backing up Satan, so I think it might help.
I really hope. I've just now thought of this. I really hope he got really rich off of being the Cell Games reporter.
Yeah, that'd be pretty.
That'd be cool.
Danger money. Oh man, so much text to read through.
I feel like Satan's probably gonna. He'll either be an omniblock for Satan, or he'll be a attacking buff for Satan.
And both of those fit. Yeah, you're right. Cool. So after that, there needs to be something going on in the background. It gets a bit plain after a while. Sorry, we'll figure that out at some point.
Yeah, it's something that's on a list of things to figure out. We could have webcams going, but like that's not real exciting. We could play a game, but then we're trying to do the two things at once. If you have any suggestions, let us know. We'll certainly look into it. But yeah, it is something we're looking into.
Okay, Nathan, I don't know what you're talking about. I've gone onto Octagon, I've gone to the text filter and typed in chi, and there is no cards.
Yeah, and I did that same thing too. Oh man, I vaguely remember reading Chi Chi somewhere on a card.
I am 100% sure you're thinking of the mention of Bulma on Dr. Briefs.
Quite possibly.
Who knows? Even if it's just you guys on webcam, so we can see people talking.
Oh, but then you'd have to look at our faces, mate.
Yeah, and therein lies the problem.
Yeah, we are working on it though. So we've gone through the allies, we've gone through the MPs,
Dragon
For the
Balls.
Masteries. Dragon Ball.
Dragon Balls.
I've
Do you
got stuff
want
for
to take
this.
a break a little bit?
I feel like
You can, or we can just power on if you want.
feel like a 5-minute breather would be perfect.
Okay, 5-minute power breather for the one person watching the stream.
We'll be back in a couple of minutes. Yeah.
We'll be back in 5.
Too easy.
And welcome back to our stream. Where we're
If
now
you're
going to be
still
talking.
watching,
Yeah, where we're now going to be talking about the Earth Dragon Balls.
okay.
Up on screen,
So
I have Earth Dragon Ball 1 from Score. I just realized you guys might not be able to see that, so I'll just post that into here so you can bring it up at your leisure. But Score's Earth Dragon Ball 1 reads. The reason we're talking about these is because they're coming in Awakening. And, you know, we have the old Earth Dragon Balls. We can sort of talk about them and see if we think they'll be similar to the new ones, or we'll see if we'll get a direct reprint. But Earth Dragon Ball 1. Power. Raise any of your personalities to its highest power stage. Draw a card. What are we thinking?
No.
Would you care to extrapolate on that or expand upon that?
I'd love that effect. What is it? Raise your
Raise
level
any
to
one of your
highest and draw a
personalities
card?
to its highest power stage. Draw a card.
That'd be
What is it?
great.
It's
That'd
like-
be something that Energy Beats really needs right now.
What does it
It's
look like?
Dragon Ball 5 without the Raise Anger one.
Or Rejuve.
Oh yeah, Rejuve as well. I mean, still, it's a big advantage. If you radar it, it's still a huge advantage. Being able to raise your personality to its highest power stages. Oh wait, does it say raise any one of your personalities?
Raise one of your personalities, yeah.
Or, yeah, okay. I was like, if it said any, then you could just get Ginyu really good with that.
It's one of my favorite tactics. Hitting Ginyu with a raised power level thing.
Yeah, and they go, aw.
great.
I'm trying to see if I can remember where the Dragon Balls from Score, what set they came out in. But I'm having a bit of a brain fart at the moment. Just the Namekian ones. So because like I'm just wondering if they are very similar. There's a bit of similarity between the two by the looks of it.
None of the Dragon Balls that we currently have, the Namek Dragon Balls, do anything to allies. I feel like that's a hole in the Dragon Ball tech deck, I guess.
Yeah.
Because the Dragon Balls are all very, well, not all, but most very techy.
Yep.
And yeah, I feel like an ally tech one would be fine. I feel like it'd be going a bit too far to have a Dragon Ball that performs a critical damage effect.
Sure. But do we
It's just because, like, play a Dragon Ball, steal a Dragon Ball, win.
do we see okay, but like this Earth Dragon Ball 1, could we see it being reprinted, or do we think it could be, or would you prefer to go through all the Dragon Balls first and then discuss?
Millsy putting it into context as it's just Ball 5, but with slightly different effects. It's like, yeah, it is just Ball 5 with slightly different effects.
Sure.
So, like, that kind of makes it redundant.
Or Earth Dragon Ball 2. Set all your opponent's personalities to 2 power stages above 0.
Yes.
As much as I want to say it's welcome, I would only say, as weird as it may sound, I'd only say it was welcome Dragon Raider. Because I don't want to enter combat just because my opponent's personalities are on 2 stages and be a card down.
I feel like Dan's Raditz would love that card.
I think,
Well,
yeah, anything
you're
running
not
that
wrong.
sane loop would just eat this combo. Like, it'd be a nice little combo, and they'd just play it for every time they got a chance. It'd be great.
It saves you a bit from both Fizz Beats and Energy Beats. Fizz Beats because it makes their AT tiny, and Energy Beats because it makes them less able to shoot things.
Mhm.
And since it affects the whole board, like, yes, please.
Rip Ginyu.
And it actually does kind of hurt Ginyu. If Ginyu's stuck at 2 power stages above, he's not using his power to search more allies, and you have to use a 2-coster or a 1-coster to activate the ones you've already got out.
which is actually quite difficult.
It's not so much that it's difficult; it's just a pain in the bum.
All right, we'll
I
go
find
to
most MG attacks to be 3 stages.
no overpowering attacks 2.
Yeah.
Orange stare downs 2. Like obviously
it's
the higher
more
up
that
the
it's
power level you go, the more stages they have to cost. But,
Yeah.
It's more that it's a pain, because if you're using a 2-cost attack while you've only got 2 stages, you're being reset to 0, and then the next time you gain stages, you're only gaining 2 stages, so
yeah, I get what you're saying.
you're back to an unusable situation.
All right, Earth Dragon Ball 3. Draw 3 cards. Place the top card from your discard pile at the bottom of your life deck. So it's draw 3 and rejuve 1.
That's too fucking strong. I love it. Give it to me now.
It is very good. Yeah, I don't think. Is the game in a place where it could support that right now?
Oh, any deck can use it.
No, but
yeah,
like
that's not what he's saying.
Yeah, I'm
I
asking
I
if
would
the
not
game would
actually
break.
print that card.
yeah,
No,
I would
it
not
wouldn't
actually
be
print that
touched.
card.
No.
yeah.
You know what I would do to that card? I
Burn
would
it.
print it and give it to myself and no one else.
Be like that World Championship card.
Yeah, yep.
Yeah.
I know what I'm gonna do when I win Worlds, right?
Yeah. I think this card at this point in time, at the game's current life, is perhaps a little too. It'd be ballsy to print it and think that it was balanced. You've only got to look at like red with every attack being a crit, possibly every attack being a crit. Yeah, that'd be very, very strong. Earth Dragon Ball 4. Raise your anger 2 levels. Skip the next combat step your opponent declares against you instead of entering combat. I love this card.
No, that sounds good. Sounds tasty.
I love this Dragon Ball. I'm gonna get into
That's
anger, and the next time you go to combat, nah, brah.
The worst thing is that I actually think that's completely viable.
How's this, right?
Um,
You're playing black, you have power up in play. They do something, you Dragon Radar for ball 4, so this is their combat. You gain 2 anger, you end combat with your power up, and then it's like your turn. They have to skip their their next combat, and then you go into combat at will. I love it. I think this card would be very playable.
Yeah.
Could
Yeah.
we see this or a card like this power being put into the game?
Yeah, definitely.
Millsy?
It's not too hard for the other player to circumvent either by just they draw a hand that's not a particularly good hand to go to combat on. So they go, I'll declare combat. Oh no, I don't. Whoops.
I just realized I may have had push to talk on, so I'm not sure if anything I've said in the last 5 minutes has been heard.
I've been hearing everything you've been saying.
No, on the stream side of it though.
You're a bad boy.
No.
Yeah, I'm an idiot. Oh well. Yeah. All right, we'll move along. I don't think I said anything overly insightful, so I don't think anyone's missed anything. Dragon Ball 5. Raise one of your personalities to its highest power stage. Raise your anger 2 levels. Draw 2 cards. Place the top 2 cards of your discard pile at the bottom of your life deck.
No.
Is that just current Dragon Ball 5 but doubled?
Yeah.
Yeah, more or
no.
less.
Oh,
More
yeah,
or less.
Yeah, 'cause raise your anger 2 and draws 2. Yeah, no.
And
That card
reduce 2.
cannot. It just can't see play right now. That one is just too far.
I disagree. Give it to me now.
Of course you would. You put it in your turtle deck, you'd enter combat with like 8 cards and then draw another 8 cards.
Tasty.
I don't think there's any deck that wouldn't benefit from this. But okay, serious note, is it perhaps too powerful for the game at this point?
Probably.
Artie Newelf? Newelf? I can't see the chat clearly at this point in time. Says it's
Figure
OG.
out who that is, Nathan. Figure out who that is.
Probably.
Art Newell.
Yeah. Apparently I can be heard. Well, okay, fair enough.
Swag. Thank you, mysterious Artie.
Kind of wonder who this person is, really.
No.
So
Moving
back
on.
to the Dragon Ball, right?
Yeah.
This Dragon Ball cannot. They just can't. Like, I'm not.
Is it more powerful than
my-
DB7?
Yeah,
Oh, fuck yes.
this spits on Dragon Ball 7.
It really does. No,
Don't
I'm
get
not
me
even
wrong.
gonna play devil's advocate on this card. Yeah,
Don't
it's
get me wrong.
extraordinary.
DB7 is strong, but it's also circumventable.
All right, so just hear me out. So my red 13 deck, right? I play this card.
Yes.
I then enter combat and win the game.
Your opponent times.
Basically.
Sphere.
Yeah, you see how this is going.
I don't think that really matters though. I think with all the effects he has that gain anger, like starting at 2 and
Yeah.
having drawn 2 more cards, it's like you're getting off of that
Yeah.
level 1.
I am going to level 3 this combat and you can't stop me.
I will
Flying
yeah.
Straight through to MPPV.
All right, we'll go to DB6. Earth Dragon Ball 6. Lower your opponent's anger 2 levels. You may end combat and raise your main personality to its highest power stage. Power is considered to be constantly active until used.
I like it because it can be shut off because it's a constant power, yeah?
Yes. This
Yeah,
is
I like
considered
that.
to be constantly. It's been a long
Yeah.
time since I played Score. Dan and Chris would know better than I, and they'd be able to tell you better. Or if someone's in the chat or watches this later, wants to leave a comment and explain it, you can. But yeah, it's basically you power up on a Dragon Ball.
Yeah.
That lowers your opponent's 2
power
anger
up.
levels.
That lowers your opponent's anger 2. Sounds
Yeah.
good. Sounds tasty. I feel like that's fine.
I feel like it's
that's
worse than
completely fine.
power up because you can capture it.
That's exactly
This is
right.
Very true.
Yeah.
It has a bit of downside. Earth Dragon Ball 7. You may play this card during combat to end combat. Choose 3 cards from your discard pile and place them on top of your life deck. Lower your opponent's anger 2.
Oh yeah, that sounds good.
It's
You
even
see
better.
now, if I were a combat heavy deck, I'd totally support this being in Dragon Ball. Nothing like having a Ball 7 played against you mid combat to mill 3 and then
No, it
end
doesn't
combat.
mill 3. It puts 3. So you end
Oh,
combat.
it puts 3 on top of mine.
You get yeah.
Yeah.
Like, so if you're playing, and if I play DB7 against you, I end combat. I do the first half of DB7, and then lower your anger 2 levels.
Yeah. No, that sounds completely fair. If they printed this card, I'd probably just stop playing Dragon Ball.
Just play a deck that doesn't want to go to combat ever.
Yep. Roshi, you called?
Hey, Roshi, like people say that, but I argue Roshi wants to go to combat.
But Black Roshi, you just kind of command your way to victory.
Yeah, but like your abilities are very good in combat. But yeah, you could just command your way to victory.
Yeah.
Nick has nothing to say on it, apparently.
On this one, no, I mean it's been said.
So of the 7 Earth Dragon Balls, which one could you foresee being printed? Or which ones could you see being printed? Which ones do you think would require huge changes?
All of them, apart from Dragon Ball 4. Dragon Ball 4 can stay the way it is.
Dragon Ball 4, raise your anger 2 levels, skip combat, skip your next opponent's combat. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, that can stay the same, but everything else needs to just not be there.
I think I was fine with Dragon Ball 1 and Dragon Ball 7, to be honest.
Dragon Ball 7, how can you say that?
Because I like ending combat.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, no, I must admit, I do also like DB7, Dragon Ball 7. Yeah, it's a funny sort of, they're a funny sort of set of Dragon Balls. What do you realistically think we're going to end up with?
Nothing like that at all.
He
It's
hopes.
going to be like,
I wouldn't be surprised if we had a Dragon Ball that can end combat, and some Dragon Balls that are good for lowering anger. I think the rest of it is just going to be tech that it's hard to come by. So
I
like
feel like you're gonna
Namek
have to
Dragon
build your
Ball.
deck around the Earth Dragon Balls in order for them to work properly.
Well, you know what? You can't mix and match. I'm pretty sure that was one of the rules I've read somewhere. That
It
they
was
can't
one
be-
of the rules.
Yeah.
So you don't think they'll be like the Namek Dragon Balls, Milsey? You think you will actually have to try for the Earth
Yeah.
Balls?
I feel like you're gonna have to work around them. Like it's gonna be difficult.
I don't know. Why do you say that?
I don't know. I just feel like as the game goes on, more mechanics get introduced, which kind of makes me think that they're going to release like harder ways to do things. So maybe there won't be like what is it? I think Namekian Grove searches your life deck for a Dragon Ball.
I was
Plays
just
one
about
from
to
your
check
hand.
that. Yeah. They would have to certainly make sure the wording on them is clear.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I mean. Like I'm pretty sure that I'm pretty sure they're gonna try to separate them into different categories.
Namekian Growth. Yeah, you may play a Dragon Ball. Yeah, see, Namekian Growth doesn't specify as to
Which I
Namekian
think
or
they're
not.
going to release like that. Like they need to specify what's going on.
Like, there's very few cards though that do just specify like specific types of Dragon Balls. Like you've got Namekian Ending, which will search. They can only
Optic
search Namekian.
Blast.
Optic Blast specifies both because it has a different effect on each of them.
Yeah.
Namekian Lift doesn't care. Cell's draining. Not draining attack. Leaping Kick. I'm pretty sure didn't care.
Cell's Leaping Kick.
Yeah. Well, let's be fair. That's what it's in, right? Yeah. For the most part, the Namekian cards that revolve around the Dragon Balls don't care. Namekian Wrist Strike. Gets to be played a second time if Gohan or Namekian Dragon Ball 5 are in play. Yeah, but for the most part, they generally just say Dragon Ball.
I'm hoping that there's going to be like a bit of change to the way that these Dragon Balls are done, instead of it just being, oh look, I have all 7 Dragon Balls.
But that's
you don't like the
how
DBV?
you win.
Yeah, but I don't mind the win victory, like the win condition, because I'm a huge fan of Piccolo, and he's triple threat.
I don't like
I just
the
feel like
passive
it's
wins.
going to be harder to get the Earth Dragon Balls than what it is to get the
But it's not.
Namek Dragon Balls. Like
But
you're not going to
then-
get like the searches.
But you
then
will.
Why? You will. All
Yeah,
those
but
cards
you'll
that-
get. I think they might try to specify it though. That's all.
But like, okay, if they try and specify it, like the only way they can succeed on that is if like, is it Namekian Dragon Clan that searches out a Dragon Ball?
Yeah.
They'd have to reprint that with the most recent printing saying, you may find a Namekian Dragon Ball.
Let's be fair. They need to reprint a lot of things.
They
Yeah.
would have, if they were going to clarify it like that, they would have done it to begin with because they were conscious of it already.
Yeah, exactly right. Like that's why there are cards that like Optic Blast, for example, specifically states Namekian or Earth Dragon
Maybe
Ball.
you can't win from Dragon Ball Victory. Who knows? Like with the Earth Dragon Balls.
Matty
I don't know.
Matty Mills advocating the removal of a win condition from the game.
That Matty Mills, what
Next-
a silly
yeah.
guy.
Next, he'll say he doesn't want like anger, MPPV.
Hey,
I don't
I'm
want
like
any
I'm
win
a
cons. No win
I'm a
cons for the game.
huge supporter of MPBV as well. That's,
No
it's the
win
best thing
cons.
about being a Piccolo player is that I can love all.
Yeah, I think if you're wanting Earth Dragon Balls to be harder than Namekian Dragon Balls, then people just aren't going to play Earth Dragon Balls.
But
As
I don't
Nathan
know.
was saying about Cell earlier, why play the bad or harder one when you could get the easier one and win
Well,
games?
it's not even really so much about Cell. It's just about things in general. Why struggle, or why make life hard? Like we play this game, right? And people say, "Oh, I got lucky," or "Your opponent got lucky," or "I got unlucky." And yeah, that's true to a point. But at some point, your decisions factor into what happens, and it's a deck. It is a card game, so deck building is part of that. Like, why are you going to add more random elements or
No,
elements you can't
this game
control as
is-
well?
this game is purely luck based.
Yeah, no
There's no
skill,
skill.
just luck. It's at the end. But if I win every game, then it's all
Yeah.
But like, yeah, you're not gonna introduce factors into your deck that you can't control. You know,
Not
It's-
with that attitude.
there's like there's like reasons that you don't play. Like in Magic, you've got cards that require coin flips, and in Pokemon, you've got cards that require coin flips. There's reasons you don't play them. Like the attack or whatever might be cool, but it's just not reliable. So, like, if Earth Dragon Balls are harder to pull off a win condition for, or they're harder to search for, I don't think you just wouldn't play them. There'd be no point in running them. You just go back to the Namekian Dragon Balls, which are infinitely easier in this scenario. So yeah, like,
So take that, Matty Mills. In your opinion, you don't win this round.
to quote
That's-
the
that's
the
fair.
Newcastle page, shine it up real nice, Matty.
Gross.
It's been yeah. Yeah, you're not going to play something that you don't control, or at least you can't be certain that it's going to work for you. So it's why Dragon Balls are a bit of a risk in the first place. But the upside to the Dragon Balls is like I can win if I get 7 of them and they have good effects.
And if one gets banished, then you're just gonna have a bit of a fucking cry unless you're Piccolo.
Or you're running information gathering.
Yeah,
Or
but
you
no
cooler.
one does.
Oh yeah, or you're cooler.
Let's take that, Matty Mills.
I think that
Volunteer.
Cooler might actually be on par with Piccolo when it comes to getting the Dragon Balls back from Benizone. Only if you can get to that level 3 up and down enough.
No, because it's when you reach this level, is it not?
Yeah. So up or down to
Yeah,
level 3
yeah.
will get you there.
But yeah, it's yeah. But if you're cooler, you're just you're gonna sit at level 3, or potentially go up and then be like, I just win from here, right?
By the way, I'm ending combat.
I'm gonna
Rejuvenate
reduce
certain
7,
cards.
go back down or to a level which
You know,
is great.
I never see that used either. Like I've seen it used once by myself, and that's it.
I've used it 3 times now, but generally because at level 3 you're winning the game anyway.
All right. So new set Dragon Balls. Any other Dragon Balls?
No, that's pretty much it for the Dragon Balls. The only thing left to talk about is like the Ultra Rares, which we have no idea what they'll be, and Dragon Rares,
General
wish listing.
general hopes and wishes.
Man, I want to see, as you said before, I want to see where there's life, there's hope.
Nah.
Yep, I want to see that.
Nah.
I love that card.
Nah. I just don't like that idea. I do not like the idea of winning and then your opponent goes, by the way, no you didn't.
No, but it's one turn. Like the start of your next turn, you check for win condition again. The start or again, one of the two.
That one turn could really matter.
Yeah, but how
and
many games
sometimes
have you been?
Sometimes it has.
Yeah, exactly right. But you've been in games before where it's like one turn was all you needed, right?
No, never where it's one turn was all I needed. Plenty of times where if the opponent had one turn more, they would have kicked my ass.
I almost guarantee you, regardless of what game it is, you've been in games before where you're like, I just need one more turn. Everyone's been through
Nah, rude.
it. Is there anything else we want to talk about? We've been at this for 2.5 hours now.
What if? Just what if, right? So
God was one of us.
Godku is an ultra rare, yeah.
No, Godku's a promo.
A promo. Okay, so what if one of the ultra rares was at a level for an MP?
They have been. We got ultra rare
Yeah.
level 4 Goku and Vegeta in.
Yeah, but that's
Those were
just
just
'cause of
reprints,
art.
weren't they?
Yeah.
Alternate
Yeah.
arcs.
I mean, like a completely different level.
It's been done before. I think it was done in Score.
I'd like
well,
that.
I don't know about that, but I think that'd be really cool. So like
Yeah.
sells like level 4 ultra rare that doesn't just blow himself up. Or something like that. Maybe
I honestly want them,
Gohan. You want what?
I honestly just want them to stop printing shitty ultra rares, like True Power. I have more than enough True Powers. I don't need any more.
Yeah.
Eh,
I feel like I don't know. It's like I
Okay,
haven't
so
gotten a single true power. So I
set
mean,
fives ultras. What were they? Power Mimic and
Hidden Power Drill.
No, it
No,
wasn't. It was
Defiant Challenge.
Heroic Dashing Punch.
That's it.
Was set 5, and those were both terrible. You're absolutely right. Set 4 had Defiant Challenge, which is
Power Mimic's not
awesome.
terrible. I just don't think it's been used correctly thus far.
I feel like an ultra rare level would just be cool. Though. Like a nice change of pace of the game. If it, yeah.
we
I
had
mean-
those. They were called Sal's levels.
No, those are dragon rares.
Slightly, yeah, but like, yeah, I would like more ultra rares that are just good in general.
Yeah.
But that said, with these dragon rares, and they're talking about reprinting cards, do we think we're going to see the Sphere reprint? Do we think the time has finally come for Sphere to get a reprint?
Nah,
No.
mate. Nah, bugger it. Bugger it. Should have bought Spheres when you had the chance.
Sphere doesn't need a reprint.
Are you only saying that now because you spent the money for them?
No,
Yes.
I just don't. Actually, in all seriousness, I don't actually needs a reprint. It's not in a strong place in the game at the present moment in time. It's
I
actually
disagree.
means
I
nothing.
disagree. I think Sphere is always going to be in a strong place. There's always going to be events out there that you do not want your opponent to have, like Stare Down, for example. Unleashed.
Sphere will always be a strong card, but right now I don't think it's as strong as it was last meta. I think
Yeah, that's what I'm
it's
trying
less-
to say. Like
it's
right
less
now, it's just
important.
yeah.
Yeah, but like you're always gonna, if you've got access to them, you're always gonna have at least one in your deck, maybe even two.
Maybe.
Like,
I disagree. There are plenty of decks right now where I'm not holding a Sphere ever.
yeah, I just like the, I don't know, maybe it's the, like, I was a big control, blue black control player in Magic for a long time, so like I guess that's where my perspective is. I'd rather have access to it and not have to worry about it than be like, shit, I really could have used that right now.
Fair enough.
But like, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying you're gonna hold a Sphere in your hand like for the entirety of the game. Like, you obviously got to keep with it. You got to hold on to whatever's most useful at that point. But yeah, I think Sphere is still in a really good position at the moment. Like Unleashed, if you don't have a way to stop them from playing events, and they unleashed on you, and then they also drop you down, and you're playing certain decks like those orange Android 20, for example. If he gets knocked down, he has a very very hard time getting back up if he can at all. Excuse me. Roshi probably ideally doesn't want to be knocked down to any level other than 3.
Roshi's can't be unleashed down. Roshi gets where he gets through natural anger.
Yeah.
Yeah, like this is true too. But as long as the longer the game goes, the more and more chance they have of like removing those naturally occurring.
Yeah, but
anger.
at that point, it's not unleashed that's your problem.
This is true.
Like, unleashed is never going to lower Roshi down.
But it also levels your opponent up too, though.
Anger does that.
True, but would you rather like
Red
so like
13.
we're up? Well, the question
Get
then
the
is
fuck out of here.
the question is: do you then want to prevent your opponent? Do you want to force your opponent to play fair and honestly?
Yes.
So then, Sphere is basically like Unleashed is allowing them to do something that's not fair and not honest.
I don't see how it's not honest.
It's because
Like, it doesn't exactly lie to you.
No, but they're cheating their way up.
Yeah, they played the card. It got them there. I don't see it as cheating.
No, red antidote.
Yep.
I think there's still plenty. I think Spear is still in a very good position right now, and I think a reprint right now would be good. It would certainly stop a lot of bitching that you get around the Sphere.
If they kept it
Yeah,
at
but you're
the
missing the
same
fact that I like the
rarity,
bitching.
if they kept it at the same rarity as the old Sphere,
Well,
we're not just opening
where
it up
we-
and pulling fucking ultra rare from every box,
yeah,
then
but
I'd
here's the thing though, right? Like,
probably be fine with it.
it's a dragon rare. Did they say how many dragon rares were going to be in the set yet?
No.
Alright. So argue that there's 3 or 4 dragon rares in the set. You get 1 per box. You're still basically putting it at just as good odds, if not worse. Like, I don't see the problem with them printing Sphere. Like, if I was going to wishlist the Dragon Rare reprints, and they are going to go down the ultra rare side of things, I'd be looking at things like both Spears, probably Dig, and then shit, maybe Defiant Challenge, maybe one of the like Visage or Plan or something like that.
It'd be
Okay.
Defiant Challenge. I don't know that I'd reprint Dig. I don't know that Dig is a great card right now.
Are you kidding?
Let's ask a different question. If you guys knew 120% that Sphere was being reprinted in this set, would you sell your Spheres?
No.
No.
No, not even if you knew that they weren't going to be ultra or
If
dragon.
they're being reprinted as a common and no one else knows this, sure.
Or
Okay, so the question here is,
maybe a rare.
am I going to guarantee my the only way I'm ever going to sell my Spheres is if, like, for whatever reason, I got my hands on a set of World Spheres, and then I'd probably consider it. And even then, I still probably would only play with my my normal Spheres, because I'd be like, well, I don't really want to ruin these World Spheres. Like, what if they're getting reprinted? Sure, then selling before the reprint gives me the most value, and then I'm gonna go re-buy those motherfuckers.
That's what I'm saying. Like, if it's being reprinted as a common, and I'll be able to get 1,000 of them, sure, I'll sell my current ones. But prob's not.
Fair enough.
Yeah, there's just no like. You're asking an entirely value standpoint here. Like, if they do ultra rare reprints as dragon rares, which I fully, I'd be totally cool with. I have no problem with it. I will openly admit that I bought 4 of my Spheres. I opened one of the others. Oh wait, sorry. I've opened up 2 heroics and traded into a villainous with one of them. I've still paid the 100 and something bucks they were at the time. If they reprint them as dragon rares and it becomes easier to gain them, then you could argue I've lost money. But at the same time, I don't really care. Like, I made the conscious decision at that point in time to invest in the game. So
I feel like it might be a bit of a kick in the face. Like, I'd be a little bit like, that kind of sucks for me. Like, if they announce or reprising this.
Sure, I can understand that, but at the same time, like, I've already got them, so I don't really care. Like, it's the risk you run with these card games. Like, you could be that guy who just sold, like, just bought the foil Snapcaster Mages in Magic, and then they've gone and released the PT, the regional Pro Tour qualifier Probo.
Yeah.
And you could be like, well, fuck. Yeah, it's just it's the gamble that we take when we play these games. And, like, even if they had to reprint them, whatever, I don't care. Because, like, in all honesty, I think having the Spheres has probably they've probably paid themselves off with, like, tournament winnings and things like that. Like, I think I've made their value back.
Yeah, I'd agree. Just in my Newcastle local winnings, like I've paid for my spheres.
That's what I'm saying. Like with my winnings, I could have bought the requisite amount of boxes that it would take to potentially crack spheres. So
Righto.
you
So
know,
sphere talk, anyway. Sphere talk we've done a lot of.
we're sphering the sphere talk.
In response
Any other things that you want or need out of the set? I know that you want, say, Intruse card reprinted as a freestyle.
Yeah, I would love it as a freestyle that affects both players. The usual caveats of limit 1 per deck, banish after use, blah blah blah. I think it'd be interesting.
I said much earlier that I want my drill protection on level up.
Yeah,
I also had an idea for a card that I really want to see it, but probably never will, is something that grants you an effect similar to Freeze's level 4 and level 3 powers, where you attach it to one of your MP levels and you can always use the constants on that level as well as whatever level you're on.
yeah, that's cool.
Like,
I'm feeling like, as OP as it's going to sound, there needs to be an event card that you discard 2 cards from your hand to raise your MP 1 win by MPPV.
That seems real strong.
It is. It's limit 1 per deck, obviously, but I just think that something like that might be a fun little game changer.
you're crazy.
Yeah,
That's
a
what I
little
will
bit.
say to that.
Yeah, I don't see how you could balance
Well,
that in the
Well,
slightest.
you discard all cards apart from 1 card from your hand.
Even then, like, I'd play it in black in Roshi and just be like, discard, level up, end combat.
Oh yeah, I just got 2 commands.
Yeah. Whoa, what do you know? I'm at level 2. I go to level 3. I go to level 4. Oh, I'm at level 4. I don't really want to be, but
that one
hey.
through, did you, Milsey? Someone wants to nerf command.
Yeah, there we go. This guy knows what's up.
Nerf command.
I'm leaving him.
I respectfully disagree. And agree at the same time. It's really weird. I'm so conflicted on command.
I disrespectfully disagree.
Yeah, but that's because you just like saying that. Nerf command. I like how the name is Shadow Wallace.
Shadow Walser.
Yeah. Yeah. Does command need a nerf?
No.
Yes. Shut up.
I had something, an actual card that I wanted, and now I've forgotten it. I've lost
Does
it
that have
again.
something to do with nerfing command?
No, it had nothing to do with nothing command.
Yeah. Command. So good.
I would like command to stay as it is, and I would like it reprinted in the black starter decks, because that way we'll get a decent foil command.
Command is broken. Yeah. I mean,
A decent foil command. You're just like a command whore.
No, I can respect what he's saying. A foil command would be nice. But
yeah,
is it like the shitty fucking set foiling? But let's be fair. If they're gonna nerf command, they'll have to do like a most recent printing thing, and it'll be like corruption all over again.
The new foiling from the newest set is actually the best foiling, in my opinion. The like bubbles stuff.
No, I still prefer Android Saga foiling, which is what we got in
I like set
Perfection.
5.
Yeah, Perfection, Android Saga.
Well, I would call it Android Saga set 4, but okay.
Question on the command, right? If you changed its card text to read, like, so it only does it during combat, do you still play it?
Probably.
Would that balance it?
I feel like that would, go to end up being overcorrection. But I would still probably play it.
Would it be a 3 of? Or would you drop it back down to 2?
I'd drop it back down to 2 in a heartbeat.
Shadow's
It's not a very common
agreeing
card,
with
so I'd still run it at 3.
Shadow's
'Cause you
agreeing
don't
with
see
the
it
change.
commonly. Yeah.
You don't see it? What? Like, I was playing last night and I drew 2 of them in one hand. I'm like, okay, don't mind
You
if I
see
do.
now, everyone who plays black actually just don't see command. It's from my opponent scouting it.
There was one time at Australian Nats, I was having a dick around game. I drew 3 black corruptions in my opening hand. I'm just like, power up, discard all 3 cards.
Oh, was this before nerf?
Yeah, before nerf.
Oh wow,
Banish
you're
6. Thanks for
making
coming.
me sick.
Like, can you imagine that against the Piccolo player who's got seven cards in their deck, which are Dragon Balls? Like, meh, meh, meh. I need like a sad trombone sound effect.
So bad.
Any
Regardless
other...
of cards that do or don't need a nerf, I would also like to see Black Capture reprinted in this new set starters again, because the set 1 foiling is arse.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised that like they. This is the thing about the altered art, sort of the argument about the altered art cards. Like, if you take acetone to those old foils, they come up really, really nicely. The problem is you've altered the artwork on the card, so you can't play it.
Which
It's
is
funny
annoying.
how that works, but you can play signed cards.
Yeah, as long as the text
Yeah.
isn't on, doesn't actually cover up any of the text of the card. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
Chris's cards were covered.
Yeah,
and
they
still
were
allowed to play them.
Yeah, because he got permission from the head judge. It basically, at the end of the day, it comes down to the head judge. Now, if someone rocked up and they'd acetoned their, I don't know, smooth drills or something, only lightly just to remove some of the ink over the foiling, then I'd be like, yeah, okay, whatever. You're not fundamentally changing the card. Like, as long as you're leaving the text right, the same, and the name the same, there shouldn't be an issue.
You just acetone a sphere, right?
Just do what I do and play a set 4 smoothness drill. Much better.
I play them because I like the layout. I'm like the only person I know who prefers the horizontal layout.
I prefer the horizontal one, but I have a bigger preference for the pretty foil.
Yeah, no, I can understand that.
I prefer whichever one gives me more room on their playmat.
They basically take up the same amount of room.
Nah, I feel like
The horizontal ones you just get. The horizontal ones you just stack down.
Hey
Yeah.
Millsy,
Yo.
hey Millsy, I want you to take a horizontal card and a vertical card, right?
No,
and
I
I
don't
want you
want to do
to
that. I know what you're gonna
overlay
say.
them,
I'm not doing
and
it.
you'll find that they take up the
Nah.
same amount of space.
Yeah, but it doesn't feel right to have a drill that's like sideways and then turn it up like the right way around. It just doesn't.
Then put a dice or something on it to represent you've used it.
I like the old set. That's all. Personal preference.
Millsy hates change, is what we're getting from this.
Speaking of which, do we reckon that the next block will have a new orientation for their drills and masteries?
Diagonally.
Diagonal cards.
No,
No,
I
that's
think
exactly
they've
what I
finally
need.
nailed the layout. The only thing I would like to see is you take the artwork sizes from set 1 and you put them on the new card frame. Because the artworks in the older set are bigger than they are. Like, if you get a reprint, yeah.
I'm gonna talk about something a bit random, but it's because we're talking about masteries. The Namekian Knowledge Mastery,
Yes.
the reprint version,
Yes.
needs to become an official release.
It was accidentally in set 3, I think it was, or was it set 4?
Yeah, but I don't
Yeah.
want it to be accidentally somewhere. I want it to be in my deck.
Yeah. I mean, how many
It
times have
would
you had a
certainly
new
help-
player who's like,
Yeah.
"What?"
Yeah.
That's not how that works. You're like, yeah, it sadly is. It's like, you feel like the dick because you're like just crushing their their
By the way,
belief on how something
your
works. By the way,
plan
you're
was
wrong.
never going to work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So true story. First time I played Piccolo was against Geordie, right? And
Yeah,
I
yeah.
didn't know about the nerf. And about 10 turns in, Geordie goes, "You know you don't get anger by retrieving out of combat, right?" And at this point, I'm at level 3. I'm like, oh, okay, sure.
Wop, wop, wop.
Did you have to revert back to level 1?
No, he can't. By
No.
that point, the game state's
Oh,
broken.
yeah, the game state's
Also,
bug on.
He
DQ.
actually didn't ask me to either. He just said, I guess he must have thought I was rejuvenating
Knee block or whatever the hell it is.
knee block every time.
Huh.
That'd be
Like,
kind of funny.
oh,
My deck
okay.
is
Wow.
60 copies of knee block. If you're a
Wow.
physical deck, you ain't gonna win. If you're anything else, good work.
And like I didn't do it intentionally, obviously.
Cheddar hacks.
Here's Nick trying to justify his cheating.
Yeah, I didn't
Oh,
mean to cheat. I just did it.
I have better ways of cheating.
Yeah, you changed your mastery in the middle of a tournament.
Oh,
I
yep.
changed my whole deck in the middle of the
Yep.
tournament.
Yep.
Wait, I look at what my opponent's playing and
You
I pull the
instantly-
deck that's perfectly suited.
You instantly made me like cringe as soon as you said that. Just so you know.
Yeah, I know.
I was like, I'm gonna like just kill someone. But the moral of the story is just don't cheat.
Please.
Yeah, just don't do it.
You know what the problem with cheating is though? You have to prove intent.
I accidentally switched my mastery at the beginning.
Yeah.
Whoops.
Whoops.
What?
What a twist!
Sorry, but you can't prove he was cheating. What
Yeah.
do you expect from me?
um.
I feel like that's a
we-
discussion for another day.
We are going
I-
on the 3-hour mark for our
Yeah.
video.
Yeah, I was just thinking we're starting to waffle on now more than we
We
usually
need
do.
we need to. I think we're done, aren't we?
I don't have anything else to say, unless you want to talk about name cards.
I have nothing.
Is Nick spent?
What do I want? What do I want from this set?
What
I
about
want
legacy
some
name
more
cards?
crits. I want some more crits for Black, because Black needs a bit more Dragon Ball control. Legacy named cards. I was thinking about someone who I think needed a name card the other day. I can't remember who it was. I wouldn't mind seeing a new one for Frieza, just because his whole gimmick is named cards,
And it's done better by Cooler.
and it's done better by Cooler. Yes. So yeah, another one for Frieza would be fine. It'd also be kind of doable, seeing as how Cell has all Frieza's attacks.
Yeah.
Like, just have artwork of Cell doing the Frieza's Destructo Disc or Frieza's Death Beam, and
No, that's what
call
shits
it
me.
Frieza's card.
That's what shits me the most about the promo Destructo discs. Krillin's nowhere to be
What,
seen on
that
that
it's-
artwork. You
Mm.
just Gohan jumping a Destructo disc. It's like, fuck off. Come on.
Obviously Vegeta, Goku, I think needs some more, and Vegeta has been confirmed for one.
Yeah. Has he been confirmed, or are they just saying that he will be getting one? Oh, like,
I
not
think
sorry.
they
That's
said.
rumor mill.
I think they said that he's getting one. Danini's blogs have said that he is,
That would put him to 4 named cards.
and that's how they make up for him being a terrible MP.
No,
There we go,
they make up by
confirmed.
being like actually giving him a decent MP stack.
Trunks has a lot, but Trunks will be getting to 4 with this set because Trunks has a 4th confirmed.
Shadow's saying it's been confirmed that Vegeta's getting a new name card.
Trunks also has a lot of name cards.
If Vegeta's name card's not Final Flash, they're doing something wrong.
God, who was the other one?
Krillin.
No, not Krillin. God, there was someone who I thought needed a new name card.
Did we talk about Cell Junior's name card at all?
Oh, I jokingly said that his name card would be like enter use when in combat. You can discard Cell Junior allies to perform a block of some description.
Oh yeah, cool, yep.
I'd like it. I'd like that ability. You'd play like 60 Cell Juniors. You know what I mean? Some overly large percentage is block.
It's great.
Android, and all the androids need better named cards.
I think
Android
17 needs a
16.
better stack.
16 needs the most support.
16 does need a lot of support. 16 is someone who should get those
Play.
ultra levels that you were talking about before.
Yeah. If you can get off level 1 with 16, if you can somehow make it to that level 3 without a real issue, level 4, sorry, then you've won the game.
The same with Gohan. If you get to that level 4 without an issue, you've won the game.
Same,
but I feel
same
like-
with quite a few of the MPs actually.
I feel like it's not just like an MPBV kind of thing, though. It's a damage survivability kind of win. It's you play an alignment restricted card and you win the game.
Matty Mills
No,
secretly
just-
working to take Android 16 to the next 2 regionals and potentially Nash.
You just play 16 with Unleashed, right, in black, and you get the Android programmings on him, get him to level 4, and then play a villain card, and you banish the top 3 of their deck just for playing Stare Down. It's great.
Oh, it's Spanish. I thought it was destroy.
Oh, it's Spanish. My favorite
Seems like a
one,
lot more
I
work
actually,
than your opponent's going away to perform.
I actually did this to Millsy though. I got 2 programmings onto him.
I
And he
remember what I was
goes-
playing.
I think you were playing 16 too. You
yeah,
went
yeah. I was
Confro.
playing Black 16.
I
yeah.
went Villain Sphere, and he went Villain Sphere, and I was like, that's cool. You still banish the top 4 of your deck.
Oh, that's disgusting.
It was fantastic.
Yeah, I don't know what to say about that, to be honest.
yeah.
What can you say about that? Let's be fair.
Rep 16, people. Rep 16.
Alrighty. I feel like we're just talking shit now. Might be time to give it up.
Never. You can't tell me what to do.
Stay on this stream for the rest of life.
I can suggest to you that you do something though, and so all I'm doing is suggesting.
Stop being so rude, Nick. Jeez.
What? Yeah. Wait.
Fight me, Matty Mills. I'll take you out back and beat you like a dog, boy.
All that's left to be said now, I think,
Violent.
is yeah, I personally, in a bit of solidarity to other live streamers out there and other streamers and other content creators for YouTube, would like to say a giant fuck you to YouTube for their new advertiser-friendly policies. If you haven't heard about them or seen what those are, you can look it up. The general gist of it is that they're going to start demonetizing videos that have controversial topics, in quotation marks, and in general, not family-friendly language. So it's being encouraged that if you're on YouTube, feel free to swear and make your voice heard, because it's
Just,
censorship and that shit should not stand.
Want to add
Yeah,
on to
fuck
the end
those
of that.
guys.
One of the really big YouTubers I watch personally, you guys probably know him, Boogie2988.
Yep.
Boogie!
He has been really affected by this. I don't know if you guys know his videos, but some of them are very personal, and they've been taking down his personal videos.
Yeah, they're demonetizing a lot of these quote-unquote controversial topic videos, and they determine what's controversial. It's not up to the end user. So, again, fuck YouTube for trying to force that down people's throats. A lot of these content creators, this is their earnings. It's like they make their crust through making videos for YouTube, and whilst it is YouTube's platform to dictate the rules, I think this one sort of crosses the bounds of into censorship, if that makes sense.
And if you've made it this far, congratulations. In a few days, I guess, we'll probably be doing something about the actual spoilers for Vegeta and Goku.
Yeah.
And we'll probably be doing that every week.
Yep. Also, most likely, probably be live streaming a couple of games from time to time. Just a matter of all the team members having some time off to sit down for an hour or so and play a couple of games. But thank you very much for joining us today. It's been
Just
a
a shout out
long
to
3 hours.
Shadow.
Yeah.
Shout
Yeah.
out to
Still here?
Shadow,
He's still
whoever
going
you
hard.
are. Get good at command, bruh.
Shadow's now paying our
I
bills
think-
with the no money we're going to earn from this video.
Yeah. We need him.
Um,
He's
but
our
yeah,
friend.
if you've been streaming, feel free to hit subscribe if you like what we're doing. Leave a comment and help us, help shape the content that you want to see from us. And also check out our Facebook page. Link for that's in the description below. Other than that, thank you very much for watching, and we'll catch you next time.
See you later, guys.